Well, thank you, Shane. I'm loving looking out and seeing all the camo hats. They look great. And I have our first winner of the night. This is my friend Cindy, and she's already a winner thanks to Arrow Plumbing. All right, Cindy, you've won that plunger that you're holding, but that is not all. You see those two big yellow foul poles out there? If any Skeeters player hits a ball off that during the game, you'll be the winner of $500 thanks to Arrow Plumbing. All right, this game's about to get going. Let's go, Skeeters.
Welcome to Sugar Land, Texas. We're live at Constellation Field, home of your Atlantic League champion Sugar Land Skeeters. Ira Liebman along with Brett Dolan, Andy Humphrey later on, Nathan Warner back in the studio. And Brett, Skeeters are playing some of their best ball all year. They have won 5 straight. They only have one winning streak longer, 6 games much earlier in the season. They've also won 7 of 8. And as we try to bring a little levity to folks listening to us and bring a little bit of fun to everything that's happened, do you think some of this might be both a combination of an outlet for the players and, really, when you look at the situation at hand, just, not just an outlet, but, maybe some inspiration as well?
It's possible. This team, I think, has had the talent to probably play better than their record has indicated. It just hasn't worked out during stretches. Now it's coming together here as of late, and whatever the impetus, I think the Skeeters will take it because they gained another game in the division last night. So you mentioned what they've done with the winning streak at 7 of 8. They're also just 3.5 games out of first place. So if they can keep winning some of these lower scoring one-run games, they might give themselves a shot here in the second half.
Seems we talked a little about yesterday, getting back to normal. I think more and more people each day, and even people coming to the ballpark, had a little bit of that getting back to the way things were a little bit more every day.
I think so. It's been a beautiful weekend weather-wise. It's hard to believe what transpired beforehand, but we'll enjoy the current conditions.
Well, the national anthem ready to get underway. We will duck out when we come back. The starting lineup send the first pitch. It is time to play ball when we return right here to Constellation Field here in Sugar Land in a moment. Welcome back to Sugar Land, Texas, here at Constellation Field, where your Atlantic League champion Sugar Land Skeeters come with a record of 28-27, 58-67 overall. They take on the first half Premium Division champ Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, who are 23-33, 62-64. As Brett mentioned, Skeeters just 3.5 games out of first place behind the York Revolution, and those are changing as we speak, with the Barnstormers playing a doubleheader today. The Blue Crabs here in the second half are 9 games back on the front-running Revolution. Game number 126 of the year, home game number 58. Time to take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, brought to you by our good friends at Member Source Credit Union. Whether it's a Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out Member Source's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off is the shortstop Edwin Garcia. The left-handed hitting right fielder Tucker Nathans will bat second. Former Astro in left field, L.J. Hose in the 3-hole, the cleanup hitter, and D.H. Michael Schneider. At first, Devin Rodriguez bats fifth. Batting sixth, Corey Vaughn in center. Patrick Palmero, the former Skeeter, at third, bats seventh. Batting eighth, Luis Allen, the catcher. And the second baseman, batting ninth, Brian Bistain.
And defensively for the Skeeters, outfield left to right, it's Thon, Jansanti, and Benson. Third to first around the diamond, Pounds, Aarons, Prince, and Ramsey. Battery of Rodriguez and Zach Sinicola.
Oh, Zach making his third start since almost a 2.5-month layoff, and despite being 0-2, a 3.85 ERA. This will be his 7th appearance, all starts In 14 innings pitched this season, 20 hits, 10 strikeouts, 5 walks for the 32-year-old right-hander who is 6'1", and from originally Omalita, California, 6th round by the Nationals in 2006 out of Arizona State University, where he played there with Dustin Pedroia and a few other mentionables. Last 3 outings, no record, a 1.59 ERA, and getting back to the point to be a starter, and perhaps this is the day he goes 5 innings. 2 innings in his first start back, 3 innings last time out. First pitch of the ball game from Zenicola is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1, and we are underway, game 3 of a 4-game series. And so far, the Skeeters have taken the first 2 by scores of 2-1 and 3-2. This one is popped up right side. Josh Prince to the right of second brings down the Rainmaker for out number 1. Well, Zenicola in his career, 20 and 22, a 3.74 ERA. And before this season, he had never made a start as a pro. He does have 65 saves as a professional. I mentioned at Arizona State, he played with Dustin Pedroia, also former Astro Brett Wallace, former big leaguer Travis Buck, and Andrew Romine of Detroit as well. Actually retired after the 2013 season. Last year back with the Skeeters was his first time back since his retirement. This one is a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1 here to Tucker Nathans. The left-hand hitting right fielder comes in at .232 with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. Zenicola from the stretch, the 0-1, swung and hit it to center field. That is going to be a base hit. Few hops in front of Skeeter center fielder Anthony Jansanti. 1 on with 1 out, and in comes L.J. Hose. Well, L.J. Hose is a former Astro, and I asked him earlier today really about not only playing here but living here and coming down here to play as a member now of the Blue Crabs after everything that happened.
Just being from home, Maryland, and reading what's going on, and actually talking to some of my friends and family down here that are down here, and then seeing some of the disaster and seeing some of the people riding downtown and going to different shelters and stuff. It hit home because I called this place home for 3 years, and my family loved it down here, and I got so many great memories down here, and just being around the city and stuff like that, and going to where I used to live at down here and seeing how it's flooded and seeing the community and some of the people that I live by are still down here and how it's affected them. It's definitely hit home, and it was very sad. And I've been in contact with a lot of people that I know down here, and I've been trying to help out whatever way I can, whether it's been giving money, going to the shelter and stuff like that. So, I still love this place. I come down here and visit pretty much twice a year, even though I'm not playing here still. I still come down and visit. I got some friends that play on the Astros still, so I'm basically in contact with them all the time. So I've been praying for the people of here. There's a strong community out here, and I think this is only the beginning of the great things to come for the city.
That was L.J. Hose, who just singled, so now first and second with only 1 away for Michael Schneider. Schneider 282, 23 home runs, tied for, solo possession of second in the league with those 23 long balls. 7th in the league with 69 RBIs. He takes the first pitch for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes to count. All set up inside here. The 1-0 from Zenicola. Under the hands, a little bit low and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Snyder also second in the league in extra base hits with 55. He is 4th in the league in slugging percentage at .519, as well as 4th in total bases at .221, and tied with the Skeeters' Kevin Aarons, 2nd in the league with 32 doubles. The 2-0 here from Zenicola. This one is scolded out to right center field. Long run for Jansanti, but he's going to get there. Tagging at second is Nathans. He's going to make it to third. That'll be out number 2, however. 2 on, 2 out runners on the corner here for the left-handed hitting first baseman, Devin Rodriguez.
Boy, Jansanti way over into left center, had to go into right center field, but that ball was up there for a long time, giving him a chance to run it down.
Oh, in steps Rodriguez, still hitting a impressive .377, 6 home runs and 44 RBIs, and that .377 over 63 games, so it's not a short clip. See if Zenicola can get out of this unscathed in the top of the first. Yesterday, the Skeeters allowed to run in the top of the first, but wound up winning 3-2. Mention those 1-run games, and this is a stretch like no other. The Skeeters have played 13 one-run games in their last 19. Tough hop to first baseman Travis Scott. Knocks it down, picks it up, touches first, and that'll do it. A nice job by Zenicola getting out of the first and second one-out jam without allowing a run to score. The Blue Crabs do not score here in the top of the first. Skeeters coming to bat for the first time when we return.
Thank you, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Corwin, and he's ready to take on Swatson in the Mascot race. All right, bud, go ahead and take your spot over there at first base. Swatson's got his lead at second. Swatson, you want to turn around? No, you're going to run backwards? I don't know how that's going to go. We'll see. All righty, on your mark. Get set, go. And they are off. Swatson is backpedaling pretty fast. Round in second is Corwin. He's coming on quick, Swatson. Watch out. Swatson, you forgot to turn. Keep going, keep going. All right, and Swatson is down on the ground, but Corwin is going to be our winner. Congratulations. We'll send it back up to you, Shane.
We move to the bottom of the first. Time to take a look at the starting lineup for your Sugar Land Skeeters, brought to you by MemberSource Credit Union. Whether it's a Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out MemberSource's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off tonight is Joe Benson. He'll be in right, batting second and playing second. Josh Prince in the three-hole center fielder Anthony Jansandy. Kevin Aaron's the shortstop in the cleanup spot. Travis Scott is the DH batting fifth. Brian Pounds at third, bat sixth. Wilfredo Rodriguez batting seventh. He'll be doing the catching. Caleb Ramsey at first, bats eighth and batting ninth. Left fielder Dickie Thon. Well, in steps Benson to start this one off against the right-hander David Russo. First pitch here by the southpaw. This one is a strike on the outside corner. No balls and one strike to count. Benson 257. 8 home runs and 36 RBIs. Russo 0-3, a 6.06 ERA. See his 28th appearance, just his 6th start, however. In 46 innings, he's allowed 51 hits. He has struck out 32, but walked 27. Check swing, down low 2-0 here to Benson. Last 3 starts, 0-1 with a 5.29 ERA. Against the Skeeters this year, 0-2 with a whopping 12 ERA. And those were 3 starts. Last year, spent his entire time with the Texas Air Hogs in Grand Prairie, was 3-7 with a 4.28 ERA. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count here on Benson. Sun making appearance. Shadows about halfway to the mound. This one sky to center field. Drifting back is the center fielder Corey Vaughn, and he'll bring it down for out number 1.
In addition to Vaughn in center, it's Hose in left, Nathan in right, third to first around the diamond. Palmero, Garcia, Bastine, and Rodriguez, with Allen catching Russo.
Russo, career numbers, 4 seasons, all independent baseball, 8-13, a 5.67 ERA. That's a guy who was signed by the Rockford Aviators as a free agent. Spent time at San Jose State. First pitch here to Josh Prince, a strike on the outside corner. Prince last night with 2 steals. Now second in his career, tied with 41 stolen bases. He is looking at 2 milestones ahead. 44 is his high as a pro, which he did a few years ago. That was back in Huntsville. But 48 is his high period, which he did while at Tulane, tied for the nation league lead with 48, and of course beyond that, the Skeeters single season record set by Adam Godwin with 50 in 2013. A lot of records set franchise-wise in that 2013 season when the Skeeters set the Atlantic League record with 95 wins, which is still the record. Also the most home runs they've ever hit. No steals. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Prince. Be sure if Prince gets on here with one of his famous walks, 75 second in the league, he will be off to the races. Check swing, but a strike on the inside corner called. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes to count with 1 out, none on, and no score here in the bottom of the first. Ira Lehman along with Brett Dolan, Andy Humphrey as well. Payoff pitch to Prince, swung and grounded towards short. Garcia will boot it. That'll be an E6, but Prince will now have a chance to steal a base.
That's pretty much how you do not try and field a ground ball. There was a hesitation, then he charged it and took it on a hop that just rolled up his left wrist and arm.
A rare miscue by one of the better fielding shortstops here in the Atlantic League, Edwin Garcia. So that'll bring in Anthony Jansanti. Anthony, speaking of stolen bases, he has 29. He's also 5th in the league in stolen base percentage at 853, which is basically slightly over 85%, which is an unbelievable, really, percentage rate. He has stolen 29 of 34. And going over to first is the left-hander Russo. Prince gets back in standing up, but be sure we'll try one of his patented delay steals here at any moment.
All right, so why is Gary coaching first tonight? Is this a superstitious thing?
That's a good question. Perhaps? Reversal of fortunes, perhaps?
I mean, for his entire career, he's been on that side of the diamond, and now he's on that side. Whether he's coaching third or playing third, now he's in the first base box. It just doesn't look right.
Is it like the episode of go to first, just getting back? Yes, Seinfeld, when he's using the cane, and he said, wasn't your cane on the other side? He goes, no, when you first saw me, he goes, you were on my right. He goes, this looks correct to you, doesn't it? He goes, left, right.
Like Kramer's eye patch.
There goes Prince on that delayed steal. The throw down to second. He is wide, and it goes into center field. Stolen base number 42 for Josh Prince, and now 8 steals shy of the Skeeters' single-season record. Prince also leads the league in steals with those 42.
Well, I tell you what, I think I could steal stolen base against Allen right now, because the couple of throws he's had in the last 2 nights, they've gone into the outfield, and they've done so by wide margins.
I'll run it down at second with 1 away. 1-0 the count here to Jansanti. The lefty Russo will look at Prince. Prince starts and stops, and Prince will frustrate you, and especially for a guy like Russo who has no affiliated experience going up against a guy who is a former big leaguer. Russo from the stretch, and Prince is going to swipe third. Don't be surprised. There he goes. This one is fouled back. Would have been close at third. Didn't get a huge jump, but Prince certainly has the speed. Well, Russo, as I mentioned, never spent any time in affiliate. He's been in the Frontier League, the American Association, now here in the Atlantic League. Played for Rockford in the Frontier League. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here on Jansanti. 1 on, 1 out. No score here in the bottom of the first. David Wayne Russo. Though he spells Wayne slightly bizarre. W-A-Y-N. I think he needs to buy a vowel. This one is fouled into the net. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You ever go to Wheel of Fortune? Guessing those words? I was terrible.
I could see you being terrible at it.
Yeah. Just not a good speller. You probably just watched it for Vanna White, though.
Not anymore.
That's terrible, Dolan. The 2-2. Check swing down low. They will appeal. He did not go. I run the count full 3-2. Still spinning the wheel, right? Or is she just spinning her wheels?
Well, That's a question I'm not sure I can answer.
On either respect? Maybe the former. A 3-2 pitch coming here to Jansenta. I wouldn't think this would be a pitch that Prince would go on because they could pull a double steal if he gets on. This one down low, ball 4. Now expect a double steal here as Russo walks his first man of the game. Both of them with phenomenal speed. Should they pull off a double steal, Jansanti, as the trail runner, would hit 30. That would also be the first time in Skeeters franchise history they'd have 2 players with 30 or more stolen bases. We're bringing Kevin Aarons. Aarons now lives in Michigan, but he is also a Houston native. See if he can get some damage done here. This one is hit into right center field. Long run by Corey Vaughn, but he will yield to the right fielder Tucker Nathans, who will bring it down for out number 2. So 2 on, 2 out. That'll bring in Travis Scott, the Skeeters' left-handed hitting designated hitter tonight. Scott 250, 10 home runs, and 52 RBIs. Scott hitting 357 over his last 13 games, going 15 for 42 with 8 runs scored during that stretch. Because he was also worried. We are on the road and makes his home now in Katy. They got a pretty decent amount of flooding by his house.
They got hit pretty good.
Lefty-lefty matchup here for Russo. This one a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. I have time during this at bat here to Scott. I want to get you up to date on the Atlantic League scoreboard because, as Brett mentioned in the pregame show, Skeeters began the day 3.5 games out, but before this one even started, games were finished, and we'll get to that one right now. Well, the ones that are important to the Skeeters, first, in Game 2 of a doubleheader, Somerset came back to beat the Barnstormers 4-1. But in Game 1, the Barnstormers won 2-0. So now they are now tied. Actually, they are not tied because York also finished their game, and they lost to Bridgeport. So now it is the Barnstormers in first place. Well, he's tied anyway. New Britain blew a 7-3 lead against the Ducks. Ducks won 8-7 as they continue to be torrid down the stretch. Bridgeport in their game, that was rain delayed. York and Bridgeport in the top of the first, no score. No score here in the bottom of the first between the Skeeters and the Blue Crabs. 1-2 the count here on Travis Scott. A very slight breeze blowing in from left center field here today. 87 degrees, so a little bit cooler than yesterday. It was 90 when the game started. Wind 9 miles an hour. Well, it seems a lot less. Humidity at 56%. No score here in the bottom of the first. Skeeters with runners on first and second, but Scott behind 1-2 with 2 down. A long first here for Russo. Russo will look at Prince. There he goes. The double steal is on, and there'll be no throw. So 2 stolen bases for Prince. 3 stolen bases here in the first, and Anthony Jansanti now gets the 30 steals. So Jansanti and Prince, who are on the base pass together, also become the first 2 teammates to ever steal 30 or more bases in a season for the Skeeters. And with 3 stolen bases, that is 138 steals now for the Skeeters. And this one is in the dirt. Here comes Prince. No, he's going to be trapped between third and second. Now Jansanti will be trapped between second and third. And now they're going to go back to home as Prince takes off of the plate as the rundown continues. And does Prince get back? No, as he is tagged out during that very, very long rundown. So all that, and we're scoreless after 1 inning of play after the Skeeters get 2 on without the benefit of a base hit. Through 1 inning of play, no score between the Skeeters and the Blue Crabs.
Thank Thank you, Shane. Yes, I'm over here in Section 3 with Eric, and he's ready to take on the Assured Float Solutions baseball movie trivia. Let's take a look at the question. In the 1993 film, The Sandlot, which team does Benny the Jet Rodriguez end up playing for? I'm going to give you 3 choices. Is it A, the New York Yankees, B, the Los Angeles Dodgers, or C, the San Francisco Giants?
Is B.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, let's see. Nice and easy. Correct answer. That means you're the winner of 25 Skeeter Bucks thanks to Assured Float Solutions. Back up to you, Shane.
We move to the top of the second, and after now a 2-6, 2-5 rundown, Skeeters wound up not scoring, so scoreless as we move to the top of the second. It'll be Corey Vaughn, Patrick Palmero, and Luis Allen, 6, 7, and 8 here for the Blue Crabs against Skeeters righty Zach Zenicola. First pitch by Zenicola, sky to center field. Jan Santi is there, and going towards the right center field wall will bring it down. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up Patrick Palmero. Patrick, tough night last night, 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts, a foul out, and a ground out. Patrick will come in, 237. There was 10 home runs and 46 ribbies. Oh, no runs on 2 hits for the Blue Crabs. No runs on no hits for the Skeeters here in the top of the second. Shadows now across the mound already here. The 6:30 point in the evening here. This one is inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Skeeters will finish tomorrow with his 4-game series on Labor Day. It'll be a 2:05 start. Just a programming reminder. It's 1 low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to count here on Palmero. With everything that's happened, Brett, Labor Day, barbecues, all that stuff kind of goes by the boards now. More a day of recovery than anything.
I'm sure for a lot of first responders and others, maybe a day of rest. You know, certain areas today, I did see people out golfing. I saw a few.
Really?
It's kind of throwing a barbecue for some police officers. So a long weekend of different activities.
1 a strike, 3-1 to count here to Palmero. And I think I really noticed it today more than any other day where people are making those first bigger steps to kind of try and get back to normal. More people returning to work, at least here. The 3-1. Swan, a hit into center field. Charging it is Jan Santi. He's got to play it on a hop. That's the 3rd hit of the night already for the Blue Crabs. 1 on and 1 out for Luis Allen. Allen began the season with the Revolution. He played 11 games with York. A little bit of a roll at the plate. He's hit in 8 of his last 10 ball games. Originally signed by the Marlins in 2002 out of Venezuela. Got as high as AAA with New Orleans, well, with the Mets organization in 2008. Career minor league numbers of exactly 200. 2 home runs, 35 RBIs coming in. First pitch here to Allen is a little bit inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Regular Bob Uecker. A career 200 exactly.
Wow.
And oddly known as the Mendoza line, Mario Mendoza's career average was just over 230. I think battling it 1 season.
He got a bad rap then if he hit 230 for his career.
I was surprised. Sean was his last name. Angels catcher during the 2002 World Series. Wooten. Sean
Okay.
Wooten. he actually in the minor leagues was managed by Mario Mendoza,
Yeah.
and I asked him in an interview what Mario thought of that. Did he like it? Did he hate it? The Mendoza line. He said he wore it as a badge of honor.
I think at some point you have to.
Yeah. Own it, and nobody will bother you about it. The 2-1. This one a strike on the inside corner, and Allen was surprised as me. He ducked back the knees pretty vehemently. That was called a strike on 2-2.
Front door breaking ball. He started that one at Allen, forced him to lunge back out of the way, and it ran into the glove where it looked good. I'm not sure it crossed the plate, though.
Allen is still enjoying at the home plate umpire. Remember, he's got to go back behind the dish and get calls for his pitcher. Greg Oros is behind the dish, calling balls and strikes. Mike Durantis at first. Bill Worthington is the third base umpire. The 2-2. Swollen and chop foul just off of third. That's Houston native Brian Pounds. Count remains 2-2 on number 32, Luis Allen. So far for Zenicola, 20 pitches on the nose, 13 for strikes, 7 for balls. Only the right side of the infield in the shade, so only Travis Scott, as well as the battery of Zenicola and Wilfredo Rodriguez in the shade. Everybody else in the sun. There's one in the dirt. Good stop by Rodriguez. That'll run the count full 3-2 with 1 out and 1 on. A good hit and run count. We'll see if Palmeiro decides to take off. He does not have great speed. It's decent. So he runs the base as well. Has a little bit above average speed. And throw to first, and almost another pickoff by a Skeeter's right-hander. Very close. Good move by Zenicola. Palmeiro on the season does not even have a stolen base attempt.
That's what I thought.
So we have 1 or 2. Payoff pitch. There he goes, though. This one inside, ball 4. Well, first free pass of the evening for Zenicola. Runners on first and second for the second straight inning. He will have to work out of a first and second 1-out jam. Got out of it unscathed in the first, but can only play with fire for so long. That'll bring in the second baseman, the number 9 hitter Brian Bistain. 209, a home run and 15 RBIs, and that is not over a short period of time. That is 54 games for number 1. Bistain, 7 for his last 36, a 194 mark over his last 14 games, so certainly not hitting much better these days. This one just misses off the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes to count. It's a Lee University, signed by the Twins in 2009. Another member of the Texas Air Hogs in the American Association last year, so he was teammates with his starting pitcher here today. This one Sky down the right field side, and Benson a long run in from right field, brings it down for a big second out.
Wasn't sure he was going to get there.
I didn't think so either. Benson really has terrific speed. He was practically on the infield when he caught that one. So back to the top of the order now with Edwin Garcia. Garcia, tough hitter. He is third in the league in hits with 129, first in at-bats with 486, and second in the league in games played at 122, hence the 265 average. So a lot of at-bats, a lot of games, even with a lot of hits, does not get you near the 300 plateau necessarily. First pitch here, and a great off-speed pitch strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count here to Garcia. So let's see if Zenicola can get out of another jam. Pitch count still fairly low for 2 innings of jams. 25 pitches, 15 for strikes. The 0-1 by Zenicola. This one is fouled back into the screen. Well, Skeeters today flashing their Skeeters camo hats provided by Republic Services. Not only did the first 2,000 fans get one coming in, but the Skeeters are wearing them right now on the field. No balls and 2 strikes here on Garcia, so Zenicola 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. This one just misses a little low and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. 2 outs, 2 on, no score here in the top of the second inning.
You can see a few of these guys wearing these hats out in the deer blind of some sort, or whatever hunting they prefer.
The 1-2 by Zach. This one swung sharply, hit to third, passed, and off the mid of the diving third baseman Brian Pounds. This will get a run home as Palmero will score easily. Going to third is Allen. It's going to be a double for Garcia, and the Blue Crabs take a 1-0 lead here in the second. Garcia shows why he is amongst the league leaders in hits. Also RBI number 32. For Garcia, that was double number 15 on the season.
Looked like Allen hurt himself going into third base. Be a quad or a hammy or worse.
For a catcher, that's going to be a difficult injury. Ryan Wiggins, the backup catcher, may have to come into this one. Let's see if he is okay. The trainer for the Blue Crabs is taking a look at him. And it looks like he's going to stay in this one. So Allen at third, Garcia at second, 1-0 Blue Crabs, and that'll bring in the left-hand hitting right fielder Tucker Nathans. Already has a hit in this one, a single, though he was left stranded last inning. Let's see if Zenicola can minimize the damage here. 1 run on 4 hits now. So in steps Nathans. Open stance from the left side of the box against the Skeeters right-hander. First pitch from Zenicola. This one, it chopped off his foot. Foul. No balls and 1 strike to count. Nathans, born in Warwick, New York. Went to high school in Connecticut. Played at Fairfield University in Connecticut, which oddly enough, when we played Bridgeport, the arena, the Webster Bank Arena right next to Harbor Yard, is where Fairfield University plays basketball. He wasn't drafted in, played pro ball initially in the Can-Am League for the Brockton Rocks and the New York Federals in 2011. Sounds like such a throwback name, doesn't it? The New York Federals.
It does.
You're just patronizing me now, aren't you, Dolan?
A little bit. It's entirely possible.
Well, in 2012, he played for Newark in the Can-Am League, not in the Atlantic League. Also played for the Florence Freedom in the Frontier League that year, 273. So on his hit up the middle, this might score 2. Scoring easily from third is Allen. Here comes Garcia, a slow roller to the plate, and will just get in there. And it is 3-0 Blue Crabs. You think Garcia would have slid on that one. That was almost a little too close.
Sure was. I mean, the throw beat him by a lot. It bounced once, some of the steam came out of it, and it was wide of the mark, but Rodriguez had to reach for it. You know, it was one of those ground balls up the middle. It really was quite a ways wide of second base to the right, but Prince was playing the left-handed batting Nathans to pull and just couldn't come close to getting there.
Well, Nathans, RBIs number 11 and 12, and that'll clear the path for former Astro L.J. Hose. 314, 3 home runs, 29 RBIs. And there goes the runner. Swung and missed the throw down to second. A one hopper gets past Prince and into center field. And now Nathans is going to take off a third. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. That's going to be a stolen base and an error, allowing him to get to third. But not going well here for the Skitters in the second. 3 already in, a runner at third. Over Nathans on the season, that is stolen base number 1. He is 1 of 2 in that department. Hose, who is from Maryland, got to play for his home state Orioles in the big leagues. He's a little mad. He swung at that pitch. Kind of takes a walk out of the batter's box and kicks his head back. Down, no balls and 2 strikes to count here. Zenicola really needs to get out of it here. This one misses a little bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Hose. Hose born in Bowie, Maryland. Actually got to play in Bowie while coming up through the O's chain. Got a full scholarship to North Carolina, but said it was very tough to pass when the Orioles drafted him in the 3rd round. I mean, how often do you get picked by your home state? There's also the Brooks Robinson Minor League Player of the Year while coming up through the O system in 2012. Hit a combined 287, 5 home runs, 54 RBIs between AAA Norfolk and AA Bowie. Also put together a 20-game hitting streak that season. This one is chop foul at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner down at third. 3 runs in here in the top of the second for Southern Maryland. They lead 3-0. It was actually part of a trade right at the deadline, July 31st of 2013. The Astros sent Bud Norris to the Orioles and acquired Hose and left-hander Josh Hader and a compensation pick.
Hader ended up being the better portion of that deal.
That's one low and away.
He was in turn then, I think, peddled to Milwaukee in the Carlos Gomez deal, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, 3-2 the count here on Hose. Payoff pitch is swung and hit into center field. Going to be another run. Touching home is Nathan's, and it is 4-0 Blue Crabs. Now Hose gets his 30th RBI of the season. He is 2 for 2. The top of this order has done some damage. Between 1, 2, and 3, Garcia, Nathans, and Hose, they are 5 for 6 with 4 RBIs.
I thought Hose did something on the swing. He's not right. He's coming off the field. He's walking sideways right now.
Maybe that's why he kicked his head back in that second strike. I thought maybe he was upset. Yeah, it looks like an oblique or something. He's holding his side.
So he stayed in even though he wasn't right, got a base hit and an RBI. Now he has to come out.
It'll be Zach Cohn who's going to come in. It could be short players quickly here. So Alan Grimace at third.
Yeah. And Zinicola right now just having a hard time finishing guys to get that final striker out.
It's not going to be easy. He's going to have to go up against one of the better hitters in the league, cleanup hitter Michael Snyder, the 8th man to hit here in the top of the second inning. First pitch here to Snyder. Swollen and chopped foul behind the plate. No balls and 1 strike to count. Snyder 282, 23 home runs, and 69 RBIs. But no, he had gotten into a little bit of trouble at the beginning of this inning. And in the first, his pitch count was low, but now really climbing up there. 38 pitches here in the second, 24 for strikes. And action just like that begins in the Skeeter's pen. So it doesn't look like Zenicola is going to go deep in this game, even though it seemed like maybe this would be the first time he would take a big step forward, and that is Manny Corpus, former big league closer, warming up in the Skeeter's pen. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Snyder. He's 0 for 1, flew to center his first time up. Snyder very straight up stance from the right side. Swan, a bullet to third, off the shoulder of Pounds, goes to short, long throw here, and they're going to get Snyder. Snyder also struggling. We noticed that yesterday. He is not 100%. That is going to go down as a 5, a ricochet 6-3 inning-ending play. That was a phenomenal play by Aarons at short, but the damage done here as the Blue Crabs get 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Middle of the second, Blue Crabs 4 and the Skeeters nothing.
Alrighty, I'm over here in section 20, row D with the Hilton family, and they were upgraded to the best seats in the house thanks to Fort Bend Kia.
Well, we move to the bottom of the second inning. The Skeeters find themselves down 4-0 now as the Blue Crabs got a 4 spot in the top of this inning. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Travis Scott, Brian Pounds, Wilfredo Rodriguez. And thank you very, very much for joining us here as we try to provide a little levity and a little fun after the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. And I'm not a person who believes in coincidences. How bizarre is it that in the Astros' first game back, they were going up against the Mets' Matt Harvey?
Now that is interesting. If true, I guess it is.
It is.
Did he get booed?
I don't think so. It wasn't his fault.
Well, you know, guilt by association.
No balls and 2 strikes here on Travis Scott.
He is the Dark Knight.
Darker this year than most years.
True. Yeah, it's not been a good one.
The 0-2. This one is low. How big of a mess is that Mets clubhouse between all the trades and everything going on internally?
I think it was just a good thing Harvey showed up for the game.
1-2 the count here on Scott. This one's low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Travis 250, 10 home runs, 52 RBIs for the designated hitter. If he can get the Skeeters started back, down 4-0. Russo kicks, steals, and this one is grounded up the middle. And again, Travis Scott beats the shift. They should just play him straight up because he continually beats it. I don't know if even straight up would have got to that ball, but staying the second baseman would have had a better shot. So 1 on, none out with Brian Pound stepping in. Pound's 207, 14 home runs, and 47 RBIs. And I got a chance to speak to Pounds earlier today, and as a native Houstonian and a guy who went to U of H, talked to him about how he was personally affected by Hurricane Harvey.
Just growing up in Houston and, having friends and family, I think that's what affected the most is, not being here, not being able to help out, just seeing the videos and pictures and, of the tragedy that was going on and not being able to lend a helping hand is definitely what, bothered me the most. But just the aftermath of seeing Houston, go down like it did, but also it affected me in a good way because seeing everybody come together the way they did, definitely, warms your heart. I think everybody, not just me, but hearing about friends and families and getting on boats and saving pets, people. But I think it's good and bad. But obviously, I think from here on out, it's going to be a long process. But I think it's good that everybody's going to keep coming together.
As Brian Pounds, speaking as a Houston native, and 3-1 the count on Pounds as he fouls this last pitch back and just into the second row. Allen gave it a long run, but came up a little bit short. And Pounds in a good hitter's count here, 3-1. Skeeters are down 4-0 here in the bottom of the second. Let's see if he can get to Russo here. Skeeters will try to mount this comeback. Give you some of the final scores here. Going to set up the standings in a moment. This one a ground ball through the left side for a base hit. Skeeters have something going here in the second, down 4-0 with first and second and nobody out for Wilfredo Rodriguez. Skeeters now with 2 hits. Let's take a look at the current standings. Of course, Skeeters still playing, but right now the Skeeters are 3 games back of all the other games that matter to the Skeeters. Finals now. So if the Skeeters win here today, they'll be just 2.5 games back with 13 games to go.
Yep, you're in striking distance there.
I'll set up inside here on Rodriguez. Good hack by Wilfredo. Fouls it straight back into the screen. No balls and 1 strike to count. Four nothing Skeeters down here in the second. Still plenty of time left in this one. Nobody out, first and second for the Skeeters. They set up inside. The 0-1 swung and chopped towards third, and it is dropped by Palmero. The throw to second is not inside. Palmero just having a unbelievably tough year in the field. He was so good when he played here from the Skeeters. I mean, every night he is just struggling. That is his 20th error of the season already for Patrick. The bases loaded now and nobody out for Caleb Ramsey. Ramsey, also a native Houstonian, went to U of H with Brian Pounds. 258, 2 home runs, and 20 RBIs, and he really considered Pounds a mentor for him because when he went to U of H with Brian Pounds, he was just a freshman. First pitch to the left-handed hitter is a little bit low and away, 1 ball and no strikes, and went to Cy-Fair High School here in the Houston area in Cypress. Led the Bobcats as a senior to a 32-7 record, and that included a 27-game winning streak. Also helped his team to the 5A state championship. This one is drilled deep to right field. Going back to the track and bringing it down at the wall is right fielder Tucker Nathans. Coming down to score is Travis Scott, and the Skeeters now trail just by 3, 4-1. And man, did Ramsey just miss, tying this one up with a grand slam.
I think he was convinced off the bat that ball was going to go. When he got to first base, he put both hands on his helmet, kind of in disbelief.
Ramsey continues to drive in runs for the Skeeters. That is Ramsey's 21st RBI since joining Sugar Land in just 28 games and 24 of those starts. Also tagging was Pounds, his mentor, who goes to third. Runners on the corners. Skeeters get another run here with a sac fly, so heads up play by Pounds as this first one is low and in to Dickie Thon. 185, a home run and 4 RBIs.
I mean, there really is a mentor-mentee relationship, right?
Mentor-protege.
Okay.
This one swallowed and missed. I can boss you around, Dolan. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here, 1 in. Skeeters trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the second after the Blue Crabs got 4 in the top half of this inning. The 1-1. This one is fouled down the left side. 1-2 the count. Why do people always think it's mentee?
Protege, you say?
Yay. Yes, I do. Apparently you never had a mentor, nor were you a protege. Or you might know
Yeah,
this.
you might be right.
I don't know if that's a good thing, Dolan, on either end. Gotta think you looked up to somebody or helped somebody, or maybe you didn't. This one is fouled down the right side. Now on to the concourse. A few fans scramble for it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Who are the broadcasters you idolized growing up, even if they didn't, in fact, mentor you?
Well, the 2 I listened to the most, well, there's probably 3 that I listened to the most, and all ended up in the Hall of Fame. Denny Matthews, Jack Buck, Harry Carey.
That's right, okay.
All around my geographic region.
And was anybody who mentored you along the way? Not necessarily a broadcaster?
Yeah, there's been a few, yeah.
This one in the dirt, and now going towards second is Rodriguez, and he's going to make it there. So it went all wrong for the Skeeters in the top half of this inning. Now going all wrong here for Rooster and the Blue Crabs. Go down as a wild pitch. Now a base hit can make this a 1-run game. Who were some of those mentors of yours?
Hey, Steve Fiziak, who does Royals games,
Okay.
TV and radio, would be one.
And did he have his hands full? Poor Steve.
He got me when I was a student.
Really? Did an internship with the Royals?
No, at that time he was doing ESPN, so I was
Okay.
a sideline reporter for a game when the ESPN one year used students rather than regular guys.
They must have been desperate to use you.
First game, Iowa, Hawaii, Labor Day
Oh, wow.
weekend.
Swung and a miss here by Thon. So they will not get a run without the benefit of a base hit. 2 on, 2 out. Skeeters are trailing by 3, 4-1 as we go back to the top of the order with Joe Benson. Benson flying to the center his first time up. Benson comes in at 257, 8 home runs, 36 RBIs. Joe tied for 4th in the league with 4 triples. First pitcher to Benson. Check swing. Does not go. Just a little low. 1 ball and no strikes. Benson, a former second-round pick of the Twins in 2006 out of high school. Joliet High School in Illinois. Hit 414 in 2009 in the Florida State League at Fort Myers in 80 games, and that year was named the Twins Minor League Player of the Year. They combined 259 with 31 doubles, 8 triples, 27 home runs, 62 RBIs, splitting time between AA, then New Britain, an affiliated team, and Class A Fort Myers. It is trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the second. Well, thank you very much for joining us here today. Special hello to Mark, who's listening along with the rest of the friends, fans, and family of the Skeeters.
You're wrong, Mark.
2 balls and 1 strike to count here to Benson.
I'd like to release the swarm, though, at some point.
Is there still a releasing?
There needs to be.
The 2-1. I thought the swarm was just out and about now. 3 balls and 1 strike to count.
There's no shortage of Skeeters right now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no doubt. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 on. Base hit here by Benson. Make this a brand new ball game. Pull the Skeeters to within just 1. The 3-1 inside ball 4, and for the second time this inning, the bases are loaded. That'll bring in Josh Prince. Well, Prince reached on an error his first time up, then stole second, stole third, and then got into a bizarre 2-6, 2-5 rundown. Now we're going to get a visit to the mound here. That will be Blue Crabs manager James Frisbee, who seems like he has the perfect name for an in-game promotion. Prince usually does fairly well with the bases loaded. He has a grand slam this year. See if he can perhaps tie the game or bring the Skeeters to within 1, or maybe even give the Skeeters a lead here. It's been a long inning for David Russo. Take a look at Prince's numbers here with the bases full. They are good. Now Prince this year hitting .385 with the bases full. He had 13 at-bats. That grand slam I mentioned, also 13 ribbies and 13 at-bats. They have the right man up for the right job. 2 walks now in this game for Russo. Let's see if Prince can do some damage here. I think you're at a huge disadvantage if you're a pitcher facing Prince. First of all, he's going to draw you into long counts as it is anyway, even if the bases were empty. And to get into those counts with the bases full makes a pitcher's job a lot harder. They're going to set up outside. First pitch way high and outside. The throw down to second might be in time. And what a big mistake by Wilfredo Rodriguez, who gets picked off of second with the bases full. And that'll do it as the final out. Oh, the play will go down 2-6. And that is a huge pickoff. The Skeeters leave the bases full, but they do get 1 run on 2 hits. 1 error and 2 big men left on base through 2. It is the Skeeters trailing 4-1 here to the Blue Crabs.
Thank you, Shane. Yes, I have a couple of our SWAT team girls that are going to take on the Momentum Mini Trike Race. I've got Natalie and Abby. All right, girls, you're racing to the other SWAT team girls on the first base side. Are you ready? Get set. Go. Both off to a slow start, but moving quickly. Looks like Natalie's got the inner lane. It's going to be a close race. You girls got to keep going. Round in behind home. Come on, cheer them on. They're making their way all the way around. Natalie is still in the lead, but there's still time. Abby, you got it. Who's it gonna be? And by just a little bit, Natalie is gonna be our winner tonight. Congratulations. We're gonna send it back up to you, Shane.
Skeeters have a new pitcher as this game heads into the third inning. Manny Corpus replaces Zinicola. Corpus making his 36th combined appearance. 1-5, a 6.23 ERA. League's hitting over 400 against him in 30 innings.
Corpus will face the only man who did not bat last inning. And the Blue Crabs got 4 runs. Devin Rodriguez, the lefty. Corpus, the last time out, allowed 2 runs, only 1 earned, 2 hits, a walk, no strikeouts, did not get a batter out. The appearance before that, 2/3 of an inning, took the loss, an 8-7 loss to these Blue Crabs in Southern Maryland. Before that, he had 5 straight scoreless appearances. First pitch, a strike here to Rodriguez. This one is fouled off to the left side, 0-2. And it began this season with the Revolution, was with the Revolution last year as well. 34-year-old right-hander, the former big league closer. He is originally from Panama, 6'3", 210. 15 years as a pro now for Corpus. Corpus was in the big leagues from 2006 through 2013, with only a break in 2011. This one on the inside corner, strike 3, and Rodriguez does not like it one bit. First strikeout of the game for Skeeters pitching. 1 out and none on for Corey Vaughn. Oh, in steps Vaughn, the right-handed hitting center fielder. Get you the line on Zenicola here. Zach went just 2 innings, allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Right now he is on the losing end. First pitch misses here. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Vaughn. I think they would sell a lot of Vaughn jerseys in Southern Maryland. Like Ricky Vaughn.
You have to wear 99, I think.
Yeah, perhaps. 2 balls and no strikes to count now. Corpus can supply a few innings here so the Skeeters don't burn out their bullpen. This one, a hot shot off of third, snagged by Pounds, but foul. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Mentioned yesterday his dad, a former big leaguer, and Dad had a great year in 1998. 272, 50 home runs. 119 RBIs, 112 runs scored, but unfortunately he finished 4th in the balloting. Why? Because that was the year Sosa and McGuire went at it for the home run record, and Mrs. Alou finished 3rd. This one through the left side for a base hit. Well, Vaughn gets a hit here. 1 on and 1 out for Patrick Palmero.
Moises had a real good season that year as well, all the way around. And
yes, he did.
Finished 3rd.
And that was also the same year that Moises reached into the stands, wasn't it? Or that was 2001.
As a Cub?
Yeah. Was that the same year?
That was later than that, wasn't it?
One steps Palmero. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a run score. Skeeters trailing 4-1 here in the top of the 3rd. First pitch here is fouled off by Palmero. No balls and 1 strike to count. Biggio finished 5th in that balloting that year. And actually, Vaughn played Houston in the NLCS that year. Got to go to the World Series. You know, the Padres lost. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Skeeters down by 3, 4-1. Corpus comes in sidearm and gets himself a strike. 0-2 here on Palmero. James Frisbee, Blue Crabs manager and third base coach. I don't know if he is lost because there's no third base box, but he is behind the Windstream sign. He is a good 25 feet behind and in front of the third base bag. That's a long ways away.
Sure is. You might also be in line of a line drive foul ball if you're not careful.
He's almost on the warning track in front of his own dugout. Guess he wants a bird's eye view of things. I'll set up outside here, the 1-2. Corpus against sidearm. This one, Palmer just gets a piece of it, a little squibber to the right of home plate. Count remains 1-2. Skitters would love to get even in the season series. They are 9-10 this year against the Blue Crabs, so to get even, they will have to take the lead by winning both of these next two games, including tonight. Skitters are 58-62 overall against Southern Maryland in their 6 years. They just do not play Southern Maryland well. I guess just a matchup thing. I mean, the teams have changed quite a bit over the 6 seasons the Skitters have been in the Atlantic League. They specifically do not play very well at Regency Furniture Stadium. This one hit down the left field line, long run. This one trouble. That one going to get up against the wall. Tiki Thon will play it, and the throw will come into second. Good throw by Thon. A little late. Palmero now 2 for 2 with a double. Runners on second and third with only one out. So Patrick had a tough game yesterday. Now 2 for 2, a single, a double, and a run scored. Now to bring in catcher Luis Allen. For Palmero on the season at his double number 18.
This is Ryan Wiggins, so the substitutions continue. Both guys that had some discomfort visibly are out of the game.
This is going to become a very short bench quickly. In fact, that might be out of position players. Oh, they have one left. Kalika Ka'o'o Ala Ala.
If you say so.
Now, actually, Jose Lozada is also available.
That's right.
Second and third. First base is open. Should Corpus decide to be careful, but Wiggins, not the greatest hitter of all times. This one is chopped foul. Just down the third base side. No balls and one strike to count. Take a look at Wiggins' numbers here. 149, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, that in 51 games. The 0-1 here by Corpus. This one is hit to second right at Prince. He will hold the runner at third, and now they're going to throw to second and have Palmero in a rundown. And it didn't even look like Kevin Aarons tagged
He did.
him.
He was called out for expanding the baseline.
Going down 4-6, and that's a huge out.
Prince looked at every base. He was going to get somebody somewhere.
The runners on the corners, 2 down now, and Corpus now has a chance to get out of it.
Well, it's only fair. The Skeeters have lost a runner between home and third. They lost a runner at second base with the bases loaded. To see the Blue Crabs lose a runner at second base, or really out in shallow left field, I guess, was more accurate, the description, where Palmero was headed.
So you're saying not exactly a clinic.
No, it's
for
not
baseball.
a masterpiece. The wacko meter's starting to rev up.
Not a coincidence. Gary down at first, and the wacko meter is on full throttle. Maybe it's throwing off the cosmos of the universe. On the steps on number 9, hitter Brian Bistain, who flew out to right his first time up. He's 0 for 1. First pitch, a little bit low and away for a ball, 1-0. Bistain 209, a home run, and 15 RBIs. Bistain really had his best season last year with the Air Hogs. 285, 8 home runs, 36 ribbies, and 24 steals in 98 games. Began the season in Ottawa in the Can-Am League. 17 games, hit just .203 with a home run and 7 RBIs and 8 steals. 2-0 now the count to Bistain, who stands fairly close to the plate from the right side. Swung and a miss there, 2 balls and a strike. Mentioned Corpus was a closer at the big league level. Had 2 really good years as a closer. The 2007 season with the Rockies when they went on that magical, winning 21 of the last 22. He saved 19 games that year, and in 2010 he saved 10. Grounded foul off of third. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Skeeters trailing by 3 here to Southern Maryland, 4-1. We are in the top half of the third. The only time I could ever remember the Skeeters in 6 seasons sweeping the Blue Crabs was last season when they went on that magical 10-0 run down the stretch. Swept the last 4 games of the year here against the Blue Crabs. Swept the first round against York and the championship against the Ducks. This one just misses outside. That'll run the count full 3-2. So now the runner at first, Wiggins, will be released with a full count and 2 down. You have to challenge the number 9 hitter here if you're Corpus. Corpus peeks over his left shoulder. They will set up inside this time, and this one's swollen and chop foul behind home plate. Slow roller. Count remains 3-2. Corpus with 34 career big league saves. Was 13-20 with a 4.14 ERA overall. Career-wise, he has 66 saves with 27 more in the minors. And he has 43 and 55 lifetime. 15 seasons as a pro for Corpus. This one a little humpback line drive behind second. Prince will have to go to first even though he's only a few steps behind the second base bag. And that'll do it. 4-3 on the putout. So Corpus gets in and out of trouble with a little bit of help. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Middle of the third, Skeeters down by 3, 4-1 here over the Blue Crabs. Well, don't miss Charlie Robinson at Constellation Field on Saturday, September 16th. Stay late after the game for a live post-game performance from local country artist Charlie Robinson as part of the Skeeters post-game concert series, sponsored by Bud Light. To get your tickets, call 281-240-HITS or log on to SugarlandSkeeters.com. Ryan Wiggins will do the catching as he came in to hit for Luis Allen. For the Skeeters, it'll be 2, 3, and 4. Down by 3, 4-1 as we move to the bottom of the third. Ira Liebman along with Brett Dolan, Andy Humphrey as well. Brenton is loaded bat. Reached on an errant, stole 2 bases. He was at the plate last inning. And Wilfredo Rodriguez got picked off of second with the bases loaded, which ended the inning. That was a huge misplay. Prince came in 252, 10 home runs, 48 RBIs. Should he get on and steal another base, his 44th steal would tie him with his career high as a pro.
He tie himself?
Yep. Or at least tie his shoes. His career high of 44 steals was back in 2010 at Brevard County on the Florida State League in the Brewers system. Caught just 11 times that year. That's a pretty good success rate. He's only been caught 8 times this season. The 3-1 high ball 4. So I have a chance to tie his career high right here. On base twice now without the benefit of it. An error, now a walk. Now walk is 76th of the season. Anthony Jancenti, who walked himself last time up. Prince and Jancenti executed a double steal. They became the first Skeeter teammates to ever steal 30 or more bases in a season. And oddly enough, Anthony had never stolen in double digits before this season. I mean, some of that had to do with playing time. Gary Getty recognized, really a great overall athlete. Wasn't going to hold him back, and he's given him the green light all year, and it's paid off. I mean, before this season, his career high in steals was 8. Now he has 30. Prince just daring Russo to go over there. There he goes. A throw down to second. Will never get him. A couple of hops, and as you mentioned earlier, he has not had a. And this is actually the difference.
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
Yeah. Neither one of them's been able to throw the ball in the air to second base.
Oh, he has tied his career high now, 44 steals, and has a chance to set a new career high if he can swipe third, which he just might. He is going for that Skeeter single season record. He is now just 6 stolen bases shy of that. 50 steals, and that's quite a plateau. Prince has a very bizarre stat note. He now has more stolen bases than RBIs in his career. Can't say that about too many. 2 balls and no strikes here to Jancenti. This one low and in, 3-0. Prince came in today with exactly 315 RBIs in his career and 315 steals. Now 318 steals. See if Jancenti is taking here, or gets the green light on 3-0. This one way inside, missed by plenty, low and in near the feet. So a chance for another feat as these two may try for another double steal here.
I get too greedy because right now Russo hasn't been able to throw the ball near the plate.
Also true. 4th walk already in 2+ innings. Nobody out for Kevin Aarons, who is flying out to right his first time up. He's 0 for 1. First pitch here to Aarons from the southpaw. This one is low and in. Mentioned Aarons, a Houston native, although he lives in Michigan these days, and asked him what Hurricane Harvey was like for him.
It was pretty devastating. My parents' house was okay, but my brother's house came really close to the bayou, flooding them. So I actually just went over to their house today to see the damage, and it was pretty significant. But hopefully they can work through it, and the city can rebuild from this.
3-0 now the count here to Kevin Aarons. The 3-0 here. This one is a slow roller towards short, and now Prince collides with the third baseman. That's going to be interference. And hopefully he is not hurt. Everyone should be safe on this one. Now Palmero, or rather Garcia, tries to see if Prince is okay as he's flexing his lower back, and now the Skeeters trainer will come out and examine him. Let's hope Prince is okay. Really just on fire right now, and he might come out of this game.
Well, I think
wow.
they called him out, but there was never a
Isn't
signal
that the
given.
fielder's fault? Isn't that interference on the fielder?
Depends. If it looked like Palmero was getting ready to field the ball, so now I think Frisbee wants an explanation to this.
Why would he need an explanation?
I don't
He
know.
got the benefit of the call.
Yeah. Unless he wants, well, he's getting greedy now. Unless he thinks there's
Should be a
multiple
double
outs,
play?
but that
No,
ball was so
there's
softly
no
hit.
way. Wow, this has been a strange one here
I told
today.
you the wacko meter was rolling.
It's in full throttle.
I mean, Prince actually slowed down so the ball would go in front of him towards Garcia, but then in the process he was running towards Palmero.
I think he was watching Garcia. A one out, runners on first and second for Travis Scott. So Prince out, Jansanti down at second. Aaron's on at first. Lefty-lefty matchup here for Russo. First pitch is high, 1-0. Russo's numbers, strike to ball wise, are terrible. 25 strikes, 35 balls.
Wow. And he's leading by 3.
Not for long if he keeps pitching like that. This one is low and away, 2-0. I think he got a break. Prince, I was just trying to time it so he could screen Garcia, but he didn't see Palmero right in front of him. Otherwise, it would be the bases loaded here. The 2-0. Scott taking all the way. A strike on the outside corner, 2-1. The wildness of Russo, I'd take until I got a strike as well. 4 runs on 8 hits for the Blue Crabs. Skeeters 1 run on 2 hits. They have 6 base runners. Make that 7. The 2-1 swung and missed. Scott chased the ball outside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. 1 out, 2 on. Skeeters trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the third. A win almost at a standstill. Maybe a good moment for Travis Scott. The 2-2 by the southpaw. Swung and fouled off to the left side. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you're the Skeeters, you really have to wait and work Russo. He is not throwing a lot of strikes. Russo's pace really slowing down as well. The 2-2. Outside 3-2 and again. Oh, look at a move by Jansanti. My goodness. He stole third after they threw it to second. The second they threw it, he took off. I thought it was going to be a dead duck, more like a flying Skeeter. So 2 stolen bases now for Jansanti. That was a Willie Mays Hayes-esque flag.
A little bit. Last thing the Skeeters needed was to lose another man out there on the bases.
31 steals for Jansanti, and this one pops up. This one's going to stay and play Wiggins. The catcher sheds the mask and he'll bring it down near his own dugout. That is an unproductive out. Just as Jansanti gets the third with 1 away, Scott fouls out. Now bringing Brian Pounds, who has a single already in this one. He's 1 for 1, came in at 207, 14 home runs, 47 RBIs. Skeeters are trailing by 3, 4-1 here in the bottom of the third. Let's see if Pounds can get a clutch 2-out hit here. First pitch here to Bryant, swung and missed on a ball low and in. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Mentioned Pounds and Caleb Ramsey played together at U of H. Ramsey said that he was really impressed by Pounds, who not only mentored him, but Pounds was not even a starter when he got there and wound up becoming one of the best players in the conference. This one is grounded to short. They go to second, and that will do it. The fielder's choice goes down 6-4. Been a strange game with some strange plays and some strange ways. A third of the way through, into the third inning, Skeeters are down by 3, 4-1 here to Southern Maryland.
Thank you, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Ryan, and he's ready to take on the Texas Mattress Makers Stolen Base Race. All right, Ryan, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go down and steal that base out there in right field and bring it back to me. You ready? All righty. In 3, 2, 1, go. He is off, running nice and fast. Let's see. He's making his way down to the base. All right, he's got the base on his way back. Let's cheer him on as he runs back. Awesome, Ryan. Still plenty of time to go. All right, with time to spare, I'm going to call you our winner. Congratulations. We're going to send it back up to you, Shane.
Well, we move to the top of the 4th. Let's keep this one rolling as I hand it off for the last time this season to the new voice of the Razorbacks, Brett Dolan. Brett?
Someone needs to keep this thing rolling because you've done a pitiful job of that through 3 innings.
I only report what I see.
Skeeters have had so many base runners, I've lost track, but they have 1 run, and they're trailing by 3. And Edwin Garcia shows bunt, but takes strike 1 from Corpus in his 2nd inning of relief, and we're in the 4th inning.
Now, I always call you Mr. Carb for the amount of carbs you consume before a ball game, but now you really are a pig.
That's true. Pig Suey, high fly in the air down the right field line, long run for Benson on a sprint in a foul territory, didn't make the catch, and I don't know if he went bump Bailey or not. He just disappeared, and we haven't seen him, and now a couple of Skeeters coming out of the bullpen, so maybe Benson ran right into that wall.
He was at full speed. Now he's coming out.
A little bit of a limp.
Yep, that's all the Skeeters need now.
Kind of stretching things out, and he kind of waves as if he says, I'm okay, but his teammate Jan Santi in center is not convinced. He's going to slow things down and walk over there to check on him, and as he gets closer to Benson, he puts both of his hands on his knees, and Referee Montalvo also out of the dugout looking in his direction, and I think he's given him the okay signal. It doesn't mean he's okay, but it means he says we can resume play.
I mean, he was running full speed, so he had to run into that wall full speed. And it doesn't necessarily mean he was injured, but he certainly hit something hard. Has to shake it off, just like you would foul a ball off your foot.
Oh, and 2 the count to Garcia leading off the 4th inning. That one way outside, couple of feet on a bender, but Garcia wasn't about to chase. Garcia 9 hits over his last now 5 games. Chopper to third, couple of bounces to Pound, so fields it off to his left and fires a strike to first to retire Garcia, and there's 1 gone here in this 4th inning.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. The last 2 games have been 2 hours and 34 minutes and 2 hours and 30 minutes. I don't think we're going to come close to that one today.
By the time I'm done in the 6th inning, you won't. You may have exceeded that. Here's Tucker Nathans, 2 hits in 2 at-bats, couple of RBIs. He scored a run. His 2-run single in the 2nd inning broke up a 1-1 game. Part of a 4-run inning where the Blue Crabs did all of their damage in that frame. Swinging a tapper in front of the plate. That's 2 inches in front of the plate. Rodriguez will pick it up and easily throw out Nathans on a 2-3 play, and the ball went 2 inches in front of the plate.
That's exactly what the Skeeters need right now. Corpus, who's in his 2nd inning of work, maybe quick inning here would push him to another inning. Certainly don't want to blow through your bullpen here, as Zenicola only went 2, and maybe he can go 3 or 4 with a 1-2-3 minimal amount of pitches here in the 4th.
LJ Hose batted and went 2 for 2, but he got lifted when he looked like maybe he injured an oblique, something with his upper body, and he exited in pain, and Cone came on to pinch run for him and then stayed in to play left field. Cone has had big numbers this year against the Skeeters, done a lot of damage against them, and he wasn't in the starting lineup tonight, but now is by necessity. There's a chopper up the third base line, fair ball, inside the chalk, Pounce lets one go, a little bit high, but Scott brings it down. And Cone retired, and that is a 1-2-3 inning, something Ira could only dream about through his 3. So we go to the bottom of the 4th, 4-1 Blue Crowes. Skeeters trailing 4-1 as they bat in the bottom of the 4th. They've been out hit 8-2, outscored 4-1. Yet the Skeeters have left 5 men on base. They had a runner out between home and third. They had a runner picked off second with the bases loaded. And they had first and second last inning, nobody out, and did not score. So getting them on has not been the problem. The issue has been getting them over, then getting them in. And here's Wilfredo Rodriguez hitting .332 and less than 250 at bats. Takes a strike on the other half from the left-hander David Russo. Next one on the way, that one's upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's going to be some interesting races, the player of the year, the pitcher of the year, and also the batting race. I mean, if Rodriguez could qualify, he'd be second in the league right now. The league leader is Darby Myers of Bridgeport at .346, and the next closest is Sean Burrows at .328. There's only 7 batters in the whole league batting at 300 or better.
Yet that was higher than at some point we had this year as Wilfredo takes a strike, 2-2. So he'd need somewhere in the neighborhood of at least 400 plate appearances for Rodriguez, who hits one high in the air to right center field. This ball carrying towards the right fielder Nathans, who will make the catch and retires Wilfredo for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-point-something plate appearances per game, right?
To qualify?
Right.
2.7.
Here's Caleb Ramsey. Got an RBI and a sac fly back in the second. First pitch misses from David Russo. Continues to fight his control, yet he's leading 4-1.
I wonder if there's ever been a guy who got a win with more balls than strikes.
Was it A.J. Burnett that had the no-hitter and he walked 9 guys with the Padres?
I remember
the Marlins?
Joe Cowley back in the 80s for the Yankees had 10 walks and a no-hitter. That is not and he said after the game, I didn't even have my best stuff. If you don't throw any balls, if you don't get hit, of course you get a no-hitter. But yeah, I think you're right actually about the other one.
Count now 2-0 to the left-handed batting Ramsey. Now his sac fly in the second probably didn't do it justice. He thought off the bat he had a grand slam to tie the game, but it was caught out there on the warning track in deepest right center. He looks at a strike right there from Russo. And the count 3-1. Next one on the way is outside. That's ball 4. So another walk by Russo.
5th tonight. Take another look on his crazy pitch count here. That's brutal to look at. So he's got 79 pitches, 34 for strikes, and 45 for balls. Yet he's going to have to get through 6 more outs. Well, 5 more outs to qualify for the win.
There's a pitch that gets away from the catcher Wiggins. Rolls back to the screen with Thon at the plate, and that enables Ramsey to move up 90 feet.
So 5 walks, an error, 2 wild pitches. Sorry, 2 errors behind him, and 2 wild pitches. You're right about the Skeeters getting him on. They're even getting them over. They're just not getting him in.
They're not. They can change that. One-zero pitch to Thon, just a little bit high. And Dickey went down on strikes his only time in.
Even worse, he's in danger of getting to 100 pitches well before he even gets to the 5th inning. Or through it anyway.
2-0 pitch at the belt. Very parameter, the highest parameter of the strike zone. One on, one out. Pitch runs a little bit in, and that pitch right there has kind of epitomized what Russo's done. He's got some movement on his pitch, and I don't know, I'll use cutting for the best example because it just kind of moves 5-6 inches, but it runs usually out of the zone. That pitch ran down and in, out of the zone, ball 4 to Thon. So that is walk number 6.
I mean, if you're the Blue Crabs manager, James Frisbee, I mean, how long can you possibly stick with him despite the 3-run lead?
Well, I think he's just hoping that as long as he has a lead, he can find something at some point to give him a little bit of a break. I'd have to go deep into his bullpen so early in this night, but boy, it has not been aesthetically pleasing.
Not at all.
Here's Joe Benson. He takes one outside for a ball. Benson has walked and fly to center. Joe began the game hitting .257. Ramsey at second, Thon at first, tying run at the plate, but there's a ball lifted in the inner right field, kind of during the tough twilight time of the night. Nathan comes charging in, makes the catch for the second out. Runners do not think about advancing. So here's Josh Prince. Prince has had a busy night. He's reached on an error, swiped 2 bases, then he was out between home and third to end the first. Walked in the 3rd inning, swiped second base, and then ran into Patrick Palmeiro and was called out for runner interference rather than fielder's obstruction.
It's a full week.
It's hard through a couple of plate appearances to have 1 at bat, 3 stolen bases, and 2 base running miscues.
Yet here we are.
Chopper to third, Palmeiro there. He'll look to second, throw to second for the force on Thon. That'll end the inning. Skeeters get 2 more walks, and they leave 2 men. They've left 7 in the game. Through 4 innings, it's a 4-1 Southern Maryland lead. 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Southern Maryland. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for the Skeeters. And if you could add base running errors into the grand total, those totals would look even different. But Blue Crabs have the lead. Here's Michael Schneider. Blue Crabs have had a pitcher walk 6 men through 4 innings, and he's leading. They've lost 2 hitters due to injuries. They've had to come off the field, and Snyder isn't right, and he's still in there as he takes strike 1. In fact, he was batting in that 4-run second, hit a smash that hit Pounds at third. It ricocheted in the air. Aarons, the shortstop, jumped up, barehanded it through the first, and they got Snyder by about 15 feet. 23 homers, 69 runs batted in.
I don't know what the injury is to Snyder. Probably a hamstring, but it's amazing you can even hit with an injury like that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, right? I mean, it's one thing not to have explosive speed out of the box, and the concern is, you hit a ball in the gap and you know it should be a double, and then you extend yourself a little bit too far. Maybe you risk different injury, but you got to feel like, that lower half is involved a lot in your swing, too. He lays off a breaking ball that's down and out. 2-1 from Corpus in his 3rd inning in relief. Senecola. Hey, speaking of big hitters, we've talked about Snyder with his totals, those 23 long balls and 1 RBI shy of 70. Here's the 2-1 pitch, wave and a miss. Saw Atlantic League President Rick White tweeting, I think, this morning that Jeremy Barfield on his way to AAA Pawtucket after he tore up the AA Eastern League in the Red Sox system. So who knows, maybe if he played well for a week, or if the Red Sox had a couple of injuries that would transpire in September.
Pawtucket, I take, is in the playoffs? Because isn't fall season's over tonight?
Well, they end tomorrow, I think. There's a soft roller up the third base line. It'll go foul. Snyder has to race up the line that he realizes it was all for naught.
Why would you promote a guy with 2 games left?
Well, I'm assuming the Red Sox in the race took as many people as they could right away, rather than wait till the season's over, as the Astros did. They brought up 3 or 4 guys right away.
So Pawtucket's undermanned.
So then you need a couple of extra players, and it's one of those things you think, well, it's just for 2 days, and it very well may be, but I've seen a guy promoted who thought his season was over on Labor Day, promoted on September 22nd because all of a sudden the big league team has more injuries than they even know what to do with while they're in a race. So,
in fact, Ryan Langerhans, while he's with the Skeeters, got promoted to Toronto because the Skeeters were still playing because the Atlantic League goes further, so he had only not been playing for 6 days, where some of the guys had 3 weeks off already.
2-2 to Snyder. Tried to check on a pitch that was outside. Did he offer? No swing, says Mike Durantis at third. He gave that kind of a long look before he said Snyder didn't chase. He has a lot of wrist movement, so sometimes it's tough on those check swings to see if maybe he offered or not. Corpus can get through 3 innings of scoreless relief, even after kind of a lengthy 3rd inning. He will have done his job and then some. And that pitch just did miss off that outside corner, so that's ball 4.
He got a 6-pitch inning last inning, so should be okay for 1 more inning if he doesn't get into trouble here. Too much trouble anyway.
Here's Devin Rodriguez, the first baseman. He struck out looking, rolled to first. He's got that long flow of his hair out of his back of his helmet. It reminds me a little bit of a former Atlantic Leaguer and Daniel Ray Herrera, other than the fact Herrera was about 4 feet tall, but he had those long strands of hair when he was first a left-handed pitcher, then became a knuckleballer at the very end.
Yep. He reminds me a little of Colby Rasmus with that hair, too.
There's a wave and a miss, especially when he steps in there from the left side, as Rasmus did until he took a strange leave from the Rays this year.
Why did he leave?
I think he said something like just his heart wasn't in it, which was a little bit odd.
Wow.
There's probably a lot of guys whose heart isn't in it, but they like what comes on the 1st and 15.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Especially at the big league level. Rodriguez taps one foul wide at first. It's a foul ball. Skeeters trailing 4-1. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Leadoff walk to Snyder. The count now 0-2 to Devin Rodriguez.
Kind of happened a little bit to Scott Kazmir. He came here to play for the Skeeters, and the rest has kind of been history after that.
He was one that found it again and got back on track. Sometimes you understand when you're not having success. That's one thing. Rodriguez swings and fouls one off his foot, and it forces him to take a seat in the batter's box. You know, you can lose interest in the game when you're struggling mightily, but once Casimir got his mechanics straight, his velocity back, he had more success and got back in the big leagues. Now, the issue for the Blue Crabs is they've had 2 players come out of the game already, so unless Rodriguez can't simply move, he's going to have to lump it, and the trainer for the Blue Crabs, who's been extremely busy, has to come out of the dugout again.
As I mentioned, still 2 guys left on the bench. Rodriguez doesn't want to talk to the trainer.
He's still not ready to climb back in there. No balls, 2 strikes. Corpus set right at his belt. Pitch is lined over the head of Prince in the right center field. That's a base hit. Snyder will give it all he's got to second, but stop there. First and second, nobody out here in the 5th inning.
If there's anybody who could run, would have a great shot of going first and third, but Snyder could barely make it into second.
There's Corey Vaughn. He's fly to center. He's singled.
The last name Vaughn, of course, you're a Major League fan, you know Ricky Vaughn. It is Ricky Vaughn / Charlie Sheen's birthday today.
That's right.
52 years old.
Surprised he made it to 52.
Yeah, I know.
Winning can take a toll.
Winning can age you. It looks
Yes,
like
it
he's
can.
82.
His character didn't live that long on 2.5 Men, but he's still around. First pitch to Vaughn way outside as Rodriguez has to lunge to his right to grab it.
That's too bad. That was such a good show, too. It was based on him, shockingly. I mean, his character in the show wasn't that far off from his real-life character.
Andrew Johnston begins to throw in the Skeeters bullpen. Corpus may be running out of a little bit of gas here in his 3rd inning of relief. Spins one downstairs and misses. 2-0 to Vaughn. Rodriguez will pay a visit to the mound, and plate umpire Greg Oros, not realizing that, has to catch up on his way out there. This should be one of those where you count it. Is it an official visit? He's just trying to get Corpus to catch a breather of sorts, get back on track. (4-1) Southern Maryland leading. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Snyder walked. Rodriguez singled. The Blue Crabs trying to add to their advantage. Nine hits for Southern Maryland, just 2 for Sugar Land. Corpus very deliberate between pitches. His 2-0 offering, called a strike inner half, and Vaughn thought that was too far in. He probably is a pretty good beef. So instead of 3-0, it's 2-1. A lot of people say that 1-1 pitch is crucial, right? Either it's 2-1, the hitter's in control, or it's his favor, or it's 1-2, and then it's the pitcher's.
Right, Greg Maddox said 0-1 was the most important pitch to him.
I think you can make an argument on that. To me, that 2-0 pitch, and that one misses there, so it's 3-1. You know, you go to 3-0, you're really sitting pretty as far as getting on base. It goes to 2-1, and you no longer can afford to give up on pitches that otherwise you might take and force him to throw another strike. Corpus fighting it here, though, needs a strike. The 3-1 pitch hit a mile foul to the left, and this one's going to leave the ballpark entirely over the concessions building.
Corpus pitch count very good, exactly 2-1 strike to ball ratio, 28 for strikes, 14 for balls, but most of that early success in the 3rd and 4th, especially that 4th inning.
Yeah, it's 3 ups and downs now. It's a couple of half innings where you're seated on the bench waiting for your team to bat, and they've had a lot of base runners, had the Skeeters. They just haven't scored more than the run. Another payoff. That's a swing and a miss. Corpus gets the K. So Vaughn It's the first out of the inning. Here comes Rafi Montalvo on his way out to the mound.
Andrew Johnston warming up in the Skeeters' pen. He might make the move here.
I think anytime you throw 50 pitches in relief as a guy who's not a long man, that's probably enough. Rafi's not made the call to the bullpen yet.
He is going to now.
We'll step out here in the 5th inning. Couple of guys on base. Skeeters trailing the Blue Crabs 4-1.
Our new pitcher on the hill is indeed Andrew Johnston. AJ is 1-4 with a 5.13 ERA. This will be his 47th appearance, and 40 in the 30 has struck out 26, walked 7, and allowed 50 hits.
Here it's a couple of base runners, first and second, 1 out, 5th inning. Skeeters down 4-1. Patrick Palmero, the batter. He's had a couple of hits so far today. He scored a run and takes the pitch low and inside for a ball.
AJ, after a scoreless appearance last time out, 3 previous outings before that, he allowed a run in each of them. The number 22, the 34-year-old, 6'5", 210-pound right-hander from High Ridge, Missouri. This is his 4th year with the Skeeters. 12 years as a pro for AJ. He's been as high as AAA.
Pitch to Palmero, runs a little bit in and misses again, 2-0.
AJ, 2-time All-Star for the Skeeters. Was the Skeeters pitcher of the year last year.
He could use the ground ball right at somebody here. The 2-0 pitch. Wave it a miss. Big rip, no contact. Oh, the scoring came in the 2nd inning. The Blue Crabs scored 4. Skeeters got 1. Palmero came into this game 1 for his last 21, so he has a chance here to go 3 for 3. Looks at a strike instead. He thought that was down and in, and really shows his frustration. Count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
AJ's got 126 career saves, a career 31 in 2009.
Liner into left, that's a base hit. Maybe a chance for a play at third base. Snyder not running well. Here's the throw. He has to slide in, and the one-hop throw from Thawne is late. Snyder was going back to the bag at second, thinking the shortstop Aarons was going to catch it. Close play at third. That would have taken a hit away from Patrick. Instead, Palmeiro 3 for 3, and the bases are loaded.
How often do you get thrown out at third with a base hit to left?
Well, the wacko meter, I'm telling you, is charged up tonight.
A few days shy of a full moon.
Here's Ryan Wiggins, the catcher. That one nearly hit him. A little bit up and in. Back to Wiggins, the catcher off the plate. He replaced Luis Allen, who started the game.
Wiggins, despite his low average, the bases loaded, hitting fairly well. He is 4 for 8 with the bases full this year, including 2 grand slams and 10 RBIs.
Boy, Johnston floated that one, and that may have been the splitty that never came close to falling. 2 of them. Blue Crabs have outhit the Skeeters 10-2. Only lead by 3, but 3 men out there in the bases. Swinging a pop-up, back, flying off to the right, not a play. After Wiggins, it's the number 9-hole hitter, Bistain, so maybe Johnston can get a couple of outs and end this top of the 5th inning. Here's the 2-1. Looked like a pretty good pitch over the inner half, but it was called ball 3. That was a similar pitch to the one that was called a strike to Palmeiro. Last thing Johnston wants to do is force in a run with a walk to a catcher hitting 149. Next pitch, sharply grounded to short. Bobbled, though, by Aarons, what should have been a double play bouncer, and there's nobody out, and a run will score.
This has just been a sloppily played game on both ends. Pitching, defense, it's just not gone well for any team.
As hard as that ball was hit, it's an easy double play, and it stayed down. It didn't take a funny bounce, but Aarons had it roll about 10 feet away, and then he just chased after it. So that'll be an RBI for Wiggins, but regardless, an error, and the base is still loaded. And here's Bistain, who's 0 for 2. First one's down from Johnston. It's a ball.
Staying with the bases loaded this year, 286 and 7 at bats. Also has a grand slam and 5 RBIs.
Chuffs that one softly foul over towards his dugout.
They have 7 grand slams this year, the Blue Crabs. That is a lot.
Seems like a very high number for a season that's not over, but we're in that final furlong here. Although this game has kind of suspended time a bit. The 1-1, tomahawked high and foul and well out of play down the left field side. (5-1) Blue Crabs lead, top of the 5th inning. We're not halfway done. Rodriguez, the runner at third. Palmeiro at second. Wiggins aboard at first. Next one on the way to Bistain down in the dirt. I said earlier this year, and I'm convinced it's becoming truer every week and every month. There's really 2 types of pitchers in this game anymore. There are those that simply can't throw strikes, and then there are those that don't want to. And it's the real good ones that can put a ball out of the zone and get a swing and a miss and get the chase and not have to come over the plate. And right now Johnston can't. That's his problem. And earlier Russo is the same thing.
You're right, because the guys who can throw strikes are nibblers.
That's right. And they can get away with it because maybe they get enough strikes or swings that then they can expand the zone and get guys to chase it a little bit further. And then there are those who just simply can't find the zone. Up, down, out, in. That one was high, and it's hit into right for a base hit. Scoring is Rodriguez. Palmeiro to third. He'll stop there. It's a 6-1 game. 3 straight runners have reached since Vaughn struck out.
You fear now after that, what should have been a inning to double play could turn into a very big inning.
It's already kind of taken that feel, and here's Garcia. So now the lineup turned over. Garcia's doubled in 3 at-bats. He's knocked in a run. He scored a run.
Garcia, one of the guys on this team with a grand slam this year. 11 at-bats, hitting just 182, but that grand slam and 8 RBIs.
Six-1 our score.
So much for pace of play.
Yep. Rodriguez himself has been out there 4 or 5 times in the inning or in the game. There's a high fly to shallow right. Benson comes in to make the catch. I doubt Palmeiro will tag. He is going to try and score. The throw is going to be in plenty of time, and he's out. He didn't touch the plate. So Rodriguez is sitting on the plate and finally will tag out Palmeiro. It's hard to find the dish when the catcher's sitting on top of it. I don't know why Palmeiro was tagging, and the throw and the out at the plate kind of reinforces that. So the inning ends, but halfway done, 6-1 Southern Maryland.
Thanks, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Preston, and he's ready to test his knowledge of the Whataburger menu with What Do You Know? All right, Preston, I'm going to show you a Whataburger menu item, but it's going to be all scrambled up, and you got to unscramble it and figure it out. You ready? All right, let's see it up on the board, please. All right, so it's 3 words. Let's see if you think you know. Try to help Preston out. What do you think, Preston? Do you think you know? I feel...
Triple meat Whataburger.
Triple meat Whataburger. Let's see. Is that what it is? It is. Congratulations. That means you're going to be the winner of this Whataburger prize pack, but that's not all. Your row over here in Section 8 is also a winner thanks to Whataburger. Back up to you, Shane.
We're good now.
Skeeters trailing 6-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. I told you the wacko meter's in full force. David Russo has pitched 4 agonizing innings, walking 6. Just got introduced as the new pitcher, replacing himself.
You know, sometimes they say you need to be your own relief pitcher as a starter. I guess he literally is.
Oh, goodness. I'm playing hurt tonight, too, and I got smoked with a foul ball today, or a line drive, I should say.
Wiffle ball?
No. Real one, hard one, hurt, ouch. As Jan Santi steps in, I thought it was a good idea to get my kid out of the house, get some swings going as I pitched him with the L screen. The problem was he made contact with a low line drive. The L screen wasn't long enough, or I was too far extended.
Or maybe just not quick enough to get out of the way
no,
anymore.
Well, from 10 feet, no one's quick enough as Jan Santi takes a strike.
What happened to your cat-like reflexes?
Well, I used them as I was rolling across
Old
the
nine
carpet
lives,
on the concrete,
apparently.
hoping it wasn't broken. There's a smash foul wide at third. Ricochets out into shallow left, and Palmeiro will go retrieve. Why was Palmeiro trying to score on a shallow fly ball last inning?
I do not know, but Full moon nearly in effect. Wacko-meter in full effect. And the other meter we could find.
He missed the plate. Rodriguez missed the tag. They both knew it. Palmeiro was trying to come back to the dish. And then Rodriguez just squatted on top of the plate like a dog in front of his food dish, I guess. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jansanti. That pitch up and outside from Russo. So the Skeeters now down 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the 2-2. Jansanti hits one sharply to short. Fielded by Garcia. The throw to first is in time. So the new version of Russo, the relief pitcher, looking a little better than the starting version of Russo.
Don't get crazy. He got 1 out on 1 batter.
Well, that's a start.
Well, he still is the starter.
That's true.
91 pitches now for Russo. Not even through the 5th yet. Actually, 92. 40 for strikes, 52 for balls.
My goodness, that just hurts my head. Here's Kevin Aarons. 0 for 2. Looks at one off the corner for a ball.
And if he could finish these last 2 outs, he could be 10 or a dozen balls behind strikes and get the victory.
Here's where that number really does kind of catch you off guard as the pitch is delivered for a strike. Even if you throw a pitch out of the zone and the guy puts it in play, whether he gets a base hit or gets an out, you get a strike for that.
That is true.
There's a check swing and a ball in the dirt. Quick appeal, no swing, says Michael Durantis at first.
Skeeters, with all their base runners, have just 2 hits and the same amount of errors.
Pop-up foul. It should be back and out of play and will be. Over the screen. Hitting off a railing above us. Two and two to Aarons, batting with 1 gone. Base is empty. Bottom of the 5th. 5-run lead for the Blue Crabs, who are trying to go 11-9 and win the season series against Sugar Land. 2-2 is smoked to left field. This ball's hit well, and it'll drop in front of Cone. If you catch it in the air, it's an out, but Cone played it on a bounce, and Aaron's glad to have the base hit. Here's Travis Scott. He scored the only Skeeters run. He singled through a shift in the 2nd. Scored on a sac fly. Same shift is employed. Bistain, the second baseman, really playing Travis to pull. The shortstop up the middle. Ground ball up the middle that'll be taken on the right side of second base. Racing to the bag is Garcia. Steps on second. Throws to first. Safe. Rodriguez came off the bag even though he was sprinting to the dugout hoping he was going to get the double play.
I tried the neighborhood and really the old first baseman trick. Reach for the ball. Your foot no longer on the bag, hoping the umpire doesn't see it. And that was a pretty obvious one.
Took the shortstop Garcia a long run to get to second for the force because, again, there was no one to throw it to. So here's Brian Pounds. 1 for 2. He has one of the 3 Skeeters base hits in this game. Russo trying to get through 5 innings. And he misses upstairs for a ball to Pounds. You're probably ready to get back on the road Tuesday. You've been home for a while.
4 days.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to leave ever again after what happens.
That's a swing and a foul ball at the plate. And then on the backswing, Pounds hit it again.
Counts as 2 strikes, doesn't it?
It looked like it might have a chance to spin on that chalk, and Pounds negated that when he just made contact a second time.
That was pitch number 100, by the way. 45 for strikes, 55 for balls here by Russo.
Even Pounds has a smile on his face. I think the catcher Wiggins doing the same thing. Ball then a strike here in the bottom of the 5th, 2 outs, swinging a foul back to the screen. You're probably anxious to see Bridgeport in New Britain. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. And it is lovely there this time of year. Starting to get cool there.
It's your last road trip of the year, though.
Yep.
Skeeters down 6-1 at the bottom of the 5th inning. Swinging a dribbler foul, wide to third. Pounds hanging tough, making more pitches come out of that left hand of David Russo.
Speaking of traveling, is there any specific spot you're going to get to go to as the voice of the Razorbacks that you're looking forward to?
Well, no, but Touchdown Radio is going to take me to a few fun spots. Tapper foul, wide to third.
Where are they taking you?
Going to Alabama and Auburn for separate games, including Alabama and Auburn. And I get to go to Knoxville, Tennessee for the first time for a football game.
I'll try to break into Fort Knox.
Fort Knox?
I know it's not there.
Where else? Going to Cal for the first time, Berkeley.
Oh, cool.
Michigan State for the first time somehow. There's a strike over the inside corner to Pounds, and Russo gets through 5 innings. Some said it couldn't be done. We go to the 6th inning. It is 6-1, Southern Maryland. Andrew Johnston back to the mound as this game goes into the top of the 6th inning. Sometimes in a game like this, you have to amuse yourself, and Josh Prince, one of those guys. I'm watching him out there take ground balls from the first baseman, Ramsey. And Prince stopped, and he gave him, like, I'm throwing you my changeup, if I'm not mistaken. And Ramsey gets down like a catcher, sort of. And as Prince throws one across there, Ramsey catches it and gives him the approving nod, like, that's pretty good movement. There's Tucker Nathans as we go to the 6th inning. 2 hits, couple of RBIs in this game. His last time up, he hit one 2 inches in front of the plate and was easily out. He swings and misses, and he lost his top hand on the wraparound. Turned into a beautiful Sunday night of this 3-day holiday weekend that many people will approve of. There's a soft roller and a trick swing to short. It came up on Aarons, but he makes the play and just does get Nathans at first. Close, but he's out, and there's one gone.
Almost seemed like it was an intentional check swing / bunt.
Like Ichiro would serve one over there.
Yep.
Zach Cohn steps in, bounce to short, and is only at bat. So a day game tomorrow. It's been a while since there's been a day game here.
Yep, we only got one more day game left after that. The final day of the regular season here on September 17th.
Cohen will try and check. I think that's a swing, and Greg Oros indeed just says that's a swing at the plate. No need to appeal. Nine homers, 45 runs batted in for the tall right-handed batter Cohen. Johnston's next pitch, he's the 3rd pitcher of the game for the Skeeters, and Misses low, a ball, then a strike.
Making your pilgrimage back tomorrow?
I am. And I've gotten to know those roads quite well.
Was it 10 hours or more?
MapQuest likes to tell you it's like 9:15, 9:20, but it's every bit to 10 with a stop here or there. There's a bouncer to first, fielded by Ramsey. Retires Cone easily unassisted. There's 2 gone.
Even if you wanted to fly back, you can't because you need your car down there.
That would help, yep. No, I'll go up through Dallas, and then you head north through scenic Oklahoma, and then you veer over towards Fort Smith, get into Arkansas, and then go straight up into the hills.
Those are 2 places I've actually never been to. Arkansas or Oklahoma.
I'll wave to them both for you tomorrow.
Nice.
Michael Snyder, I've been stuck at 49 states for the better part of 6 years, and it's irritating to no end.
Hawaii or Alaska?
Hawaii. It's not like I'm missing North Dakota or something where you say, well, I'd like to get to 50, but it's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal.
Well, you're going to have to take a vacation after
I suppose.
your Razorback season is over there in Hawaii.
Might have to. Problem is I'm busy now when it's the best time to go, and in the summer I don't need to go any place when it's plenty warm where I'm at. Maybe. Here's an 0-1 to Snyder. Wave and a miss. Good movement on that pitch down from Johnston.
That you're going to look terrible in a grass skirt.
Well, you never know. I'll send you a picture when I get there.
Listen, I can't even get you to wear like a creative hat.
I wore
here.
a helmet last year.
That was the one time in 4 years you've participated in anything, only because it was your Iowa Hawkeye helmet.
And I put the headset over the helmet.
That was impressive. I still have that picture.
Swinging a foul ball back by Snyder.
You almost hurt yourself, if I remember.
That's a heavy thing. When you haven't had a helmet on in a long time,
yeah,
you wonder how people still get hurt so badly with those things on, but it feels like it weighs about 30 pounds.
Where'd you get that thing?
I got it in an auction someplace. Little soft pop-up. Prince racing out there into shallow right center. This ball is going to carry over his head and drop for a base hit. I thought off the bat Prince had it.
That thing was up there forever, just in the middle of nowhere.
Another hit for the Blue Crabs. That gives them a dozen.
Don't have to worry about Snyder going anywhere. It's going to take 3 hits to get him in.
It will. Devin Rodriguez, he singled in 3 at-bats. What about you? You take a international trip every off season.
Still working on those plans.
You haven't figured it out yet? Is there a leader in the clubhouse?
England is the new leader
Really?
in the clubhouse, yeah.
Have you been?
I have not.
Okay.
And also Spain, which I have been to.
Pitch to Rodriguez. There's a strike on the outside corner.
But speaking of which, there could be a detour in Hawaii. I just found out I have a cousin in Hawaii. I said, hey, if you want to come down, I thought, no hotel. That changes a game changer.
The
right
dynamics
there.
are shifted pretty dramatically. Pitch downstairs for a ball.
So I will probably get to Hawaii before you, but I'm quite a few other states short.
Yeah, I made a pilgrimage in all my journeys and my travels through 25 years to get to every state that I could drive to, and then I went with the Cougars to the Great Alaska Shootout several years ago, and that leaves only Hawaii.
That's what I figured.
Ground ball smoked to first, fielded by Ramsey. He looked down to make sure that ball was in his glove, and then he walks it back to the bag to end the inning. A hit and a man left. These teams have combined for 15 men left on base despite their best efforts to make as many outs on the bases. 5.5 complete, 5-run lead for the Blue Crabs.
Thank you, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Ben, and he's ready to see if he is smarter than a Skeeter. All right, Ben, I'm going to give you 15 seconds to answer one question with as many answers as you can. All right, you ready? Let's see what it's going to be. Name as many fruits as you can in 15 seconds. Ready? Go.
Strawberry, apple, banana, cherries, watermelons, cantaloupes, cranberries, raspberries, blackberries, peaches, mangoes, blueberries.
All right, we got the blueberries in the last second. That is 12 fruits. Very good job. We asked Skeeters catcher Albert Cordero that same question. Let's see how many he got.
Well, new pitcher on the hill. We saw him a couple of nights ago is Craig Stem for the Blue Crabs. 2-2 with a 3.82 ERA this season. This will be his 26th appearance. 44 2/3. He has struck out 30, walked 21, allowed 43 hits. Last time out in that 2-1 loss to the Skeeters, he went 2 scoreless innings, allowed just 1 hit, no walks, and a strikeout.
I'm going to put you to work as he gets ready to pitch here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Always like to quiz me on where these schools are located. So Wilfredo Rodriguez steps in. I would say he is from a school that I have never heard of before.
Really?
I mean, it doesn't look like it's a university. It's not a JUCO. Wilfredo's 0 for 2, steps in and spins out of the way of a pitch that was just in.
Trevecca Nazarene?
I can't even pronounce it. Trevecca, I guess, would be Nazarene University.
Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee, okay. High fly in the air to right, traveling out to Nathans, now gliding to his left. The wind's working that ball away from him, but he makes the catch. Retires Wilfredo, who's 0 for 3, and there's 1 out.
I don't know if you can figure this one out. Before that, he went to another school, Western Kentucky University. Any idea what state that might be in?
As a matter of fact, I do.
I'll give you a hint. They make fried chicken there.
Yes. Here's Caleb Ramsey. He has the RBI for the Skeeters with a sacrifice fly to right that didn't miss being a grand slam by too much. Takes that one a little bit outside for a ball.
But do you know what city Western Kentucky is?
I should, because I've done many of their games, so I'm blanking for the time being. Give me a second. The Hilltoppers, they're in.
That is their name. Very good.
Pitch in for a ball. 2-0.
It's another university.
Bowling Green.
Yeah, there you go.
Proud Conference USA member.
Sunbelt.
High fly ball in the air. A little bit to the right of the batter's eye, right center. Vaughn will wait for it to come down, makes the catch, 2 outs. 2 gone for Dickie Thon. Skeeters trailing 6-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Stem was a former 15th round pick of the of the Dodgers in 2011. Last season at Trevecca Nazarene, 8-4, 3.93 ERA.
Throwing pretty hard, 92. Gets a swing and a miss from Thon.
Split time last year between New Britain and Southern Maryland. Year before that got his highest level in his career, AAA. New Orleans won the Miami organization.
Fastball downstairs, 1-1.
Being that football season is rolling around, what is the outlook for your Packers since you are an owner?
That's right, I'm a big owner. I mean, I've got...
Going to those stockholder meetings, making big trades and decisions, I'm sure,
I get the
with your 1 share.
No, 2 shares, and I get an opportunity to go to the shareholders meeting every year, but it's in the summer, so I've never been. I vote by proxy for the board of directors.
I'm sure you're a difference maker on every single account.
I am. I think they'll be another playoff team again. They're pretty consistent as far as hanging around, getting in.
I mean, do you think it comes down to, hey, we're thinking about trading Aaron Rodgers, but let's consult Brett Dolan first?
Well, I mean, not every shareholder, but I think there's some they probably should, and I'd be very high on that list.
So if you have 2 shares and you're high on this list, what do you have to do to be low on the list?
I only have 1 share.
Or none.
None. I mean, you don't even count.
Ever think of increasing your stock total?
Maybe
Getting 3 shares?
That might be a possibility.
What made you buy 2, just out of curiosity?
Well, I got 1 for my dad and 1 for me, and then I just decided to consolidate.
Wow.
And you get the nice, for however many hundreds of dollars that is, you get a nice certificate you can frame.
You ever made a profit?
No. 2-2 is a breaking ball down and out. But I've very much believed in the expansion of the end zones, enhancing Lambeau Field.
That was you?
Infrastructure, putting the money back in the team.
Really?
Yeah, that was, I thought, important.
Did you have anything to do with the hiring of Vince Lombardi?
No. Here's the payoff. It's high, ball 4, and Thon will walk.
By the way, let me get over the lopsided numbers from starter David Russo.
Please.
So Russo throws 104 pitches, only 49 for strikes, keep in mind. He goes 5 innings, allows 3 hits somehow, 1 earned run, 6 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Yet he is in line for the win, and he has a 5-run lead.
He's sitting pretty. Joe Benson 0 for 2 with a walk. Thon took off to run, then he just lost his footing and stopped, and Benson will foul one back.
Well, lucky he did, or he would have been caught between first and second in no man's land.
Spinning his tracks a bit. Skeeters have been out hit 12-3. Those 6 walks helped with some traffic on the bases. They just didn't help with numbers in that R column. On a pitch out, Benson swings because the pitch wasn't that far outside, and he fouls it back.
I mean, it was practically down the middle.
Here goes the wacko meter again.
I don't think Stem and Wiggins were on the same page.
No.
Just a guess.
Either that or he put it a little bit up and out, but not nearly enough for.
I remember seeing an old kind of blooper reel where the catcher stepped out and the batter swung and missed, and it hit the umpire right in the chest.
There goes Thon, and there's another swing and a foul ball back off the top of the stadium, and then ricocheting down in the seats below us to our right.
I mean, even with your amazing luck at catching foul balls,
right.
Even you've never caught one
Nope.
here.
I'd probably be closer because I have the stairwell in front of me, but probably hit somebody in the shoulder or something, and then wouldn't get the natural bounce that I would need off concrete to give me a shot.
Thought I'd have one room service hop here in 6
Nope.
years.
Your best chance would be a bunt over the screen, a soft one. The breaking ball for strike 3 called. Benson doesn't like it. And the inning ends. Skeeters get a base runner. They leave another man. They've left 9 in the game. It's a 6-1 Blue Crabs lead as we go to the 7th.
Alrighty, Skeeter fans, it's that time of the game. It's time to get up out of your seats and jump around. I'm looking for my flyest fans out in the ballpark for free passes for Urban Air. I'm right here behind home. Let me see you jump. Keep jumping. Who are my flyest fans in the ballpark? Keep jumping. Alrighty, I think I have found my winners. These girls have been jumping up and down. Congratulations, you guys are winners thanks to Urban Air. Back up to you, Shane.
Six innings complete. On we go to the 7th. Southern Maryland leading Sugar Land 6-1. New pitcher, new broadcaster again. Here's Ira.
Oh, thanks, Brett. Trey Haley will take over. A Nacogdoches, Texas native. He's 3-2 this season with a 4.21 ERA. This will be his 45th appearance and 42 2/3. He has struck out 35. He has walked 24 and allowed 43 hits. Last 2 appearances scoreless, including picking up a win in his last appearance in the Skeeters' 6-4 victory against New Britain on the 29th of August. 1 inning, no runs, no hits, no walks, no Ks, a perfect inning. We'll take over here. We'll face Corey Vaughn, Patrick Palmero, and Ryan Wiggins, 6, 7, and 8, with the Skeeters trailing 6-1 here in the top of the 7th. First pitch here, skied into left field. Dickie Thon coming in. Going out is shortstop Kevin Ahrens, and Ahrens in short left field will bring it down for out number 1. That'll bring in Patrick Palmero. Palmero, a perfect night. 2 singles, a double, and a run scored. He's 3 for 3. After really having a tough night last night, he did not get the ball out of the infield. 2 strikeouts, a foul out, and a ground out. And he came in 237, 10 home runs, 46 RBIs. First pitch here by Haley. Fastball and a good one, 95 miles an hour. Haley really electric stuff. No balls and 1 strike to count. And talk about like father, like son. Not only does Patrick look like his dad, Raphael, but Raphael, for the famed baseball player that he is, was the nicest guy in the world when he was here and joined us for the weekend and played for the Skeeters. And Patrick, nice guy as well. No balls and 2 strikes on Palmero. 237 with those 10 home runs. Slightly open stance from the right side for the Blue Crabs third baseman. His brother also in the minor leagues.
Preston.
Yes, indeed.
Left-handed hitting first baseman. A little more like Dad, maybe?
Yes, very much like Dad. This one is grounded back to the screen. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Skeeters trailing by 5, 6-1 here in the top of the 7th. Last year he spent time with Aberdeen. This year he was at Delmarva at A-Ball.
Yeah, Baltimore's organization, so that kind of brings Pops back, I'm sure, a little bit.
And he pretty good year this year. 250, 13 home runs, 76 RBIs. So 1 down low, 2-2, playing in 125 games. He had that walk-off in college in the College World Series a couple years ago, didn't he? Some crazy kind of walk-off.
ACC tournament, I think.
Yeah.
I think they played at the
That
Durham Bulls Park.
The 2-2. Swung, a missed strike 3, low and away. It is dropped by Rodriguez. He doesn't know where it is. He'll pick it up, fire it down to first. And the way this one was going, Palmero would reach first. That's the first time they've retired him. 2-3 on the putout, on the strikeout. First for Haley, 2 outs, none on. That'll bring in Ryan Wiggins, who came in for the injured catcher Luis Allen. Allen walked and scored. Wiggins has hit into a fielder's choice, reached on an error by Kevin Ahrens, and got an RBI out of what would have been an inning-ending double play. So in steps the catcher. Righty-righty matchup here for Haley. It was a 2nd-round pick of the Indians. First pitch fastball, another near mid-90s pitch, 94 on the gun.
Yeah, live arm, certainly.
That's a Central Heights High School in Nacogdoches. Managed drafted in the 2nd round. That was in 2008. Last year split time between AA Altoona and AAA Indianapolis in Pittsburgh's organization after spending the rest of his career with the Indians. So one fouled off to the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. I think the Indianapolis will ever change their name from the Indians when they have not been part of the Cleveland organization for more than a decade?
I don't think so.
I don't understand that. I know people get used to things, but I mean...
They were the Indians before they were with the Indians, though, weren't they?
Oh, were they? I thought it was just because they were with Cleveland. Ground ball to second. It's going to be a nice easy inning for Haley. 4-3 in the putout, and that'll do it. A pop and a strikeout on the ground out. 7th inning stretch time. Get your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I do care if you never come back. Skeeters down 6-1. Thanks, Shane. All right, Skeeters fans, you ready for the 7th inning stretch? Come on, Skeeter fans, are you guys ready? All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so just root for the Skeeters. If they don't win, it's a shame. Sing it with me, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's go, Skeeters! Houston strong! Of the 7th inning. I hope you're all stretched out. Nathan Werner stretched out. Brett Dolan going for his Vin Scully-like walk.
Yeah, I'm in pain. I gotta walk out to my injury.
Walk it off. Walk it out. Whatever you want to do. Skinners are down 5. They need to get moving here. Down 6-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. They'll have 3 more cracks at it. Josh Prince will try to get it started here. 2, 3, and 4. Prince, Anthony Jansanti, and Kevin Aarons. Still on the mound is the right-hander Craig Stem. First pitch low and away, 1-0. 92 miles an hour on that last pitch. Prince has reached on an error, a walk, and hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice, but he has stolen 3 bags tonight. Tied his career high at 44. Next is setting a new career high in his high as a baseball player, which was 48 in his days at Tulane, and then the Skeeters single season record at 50. There's one high and outside, so always something to play for.
He's almost obligated now every time he gets on base just to go.
He is, isn't he? The 3-0 here to Prince. He's the king of the walk as well. Takes this one right down the middle for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Go over the Atlantic League scoreboard here in a moment. 4,470 fans here at Constellation Field. The 3-1 inside ball 4. So Prince draws another walk here. That is his 2nd of the game. That is his 77th of the year. And you're right, we're going to see him take off here. Take a look at that scoreboard now. Well, Bridgeport beats York 8-4 in game 1 of their doubleheader. And Bridgeport also beats York 4-1, so they sweep the double dip. The Barnstormers shut out the Patriots 2-0 in the first game of their doubleheader, and then Somerset wins the nightcap 4-1. The Bees blow a 7-3 lead, lose to the Ducks 8-7. Broken bat to short, backhanded by Garcia. He goes to second for 1. The reel it at first, and that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. And not what the Skeeters needed here. Down 6-1.
So the Skeeters, if they lose, would they still gain a half game?
That's what I am looking at.
So Lancaster
right now,
would. You said the Barnstormers split their doubleheader?
Yeah, if they win here, they'll be 2.5 games back, because York right now is a half game back. Well, that'll bring in Kevin Aarons with 2 outs and none on now. Aarons has flied out to right, hit into a fielder's choice and singled last time up. Swan is low and away, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes to count. David Russo may get the oddest win ever. I mean, he threw 49 strikes, 53 balls. 1-1 the count here to Aarons. Stem from the stretch with nobody on here. Delivers the 1-1. This one skied left side. The third baseman Palmero calls for it, waits for it, and he'll bring it down. And a quick inning. Unconventional 1-2-3 with the walk, double play, and pop out to third. We are through 7 innings of play. It is still the Blue Crabs 6-1 over the Skeeters.
Thank you, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Glinda and Laura, and they're ready to go head-to-head and ring the bell. All right, ladies, it's a best-of-3 trivia question. Please wait till I read the question all the way through. Once the first person answers, if they get it wrong, I will give the second person a chance to answer. All right? Let's take a look and see the first question. How many countries border Australia? Laura?
1.
1 is incorrect. Glinda, do you have a guess?
3.
3 is also incorrect. It is 0 because it is an island. All right. Let's see. Down to number 2. What is the title of the U.S. national anthem? Laura?
Star Spangled Banner.
The Star Spangled Banner is correct. That's 1 point to Laura. All right. Let's see who's going to get the final question. In a typical deck of cards, which 2 suits are red? Glinda?
Diamonds and hearts.
Diamonds and hearts is correct. That means it's 1 point to each. We're going to have to call it a tie tonight, but great job, ladies. We're going to send it back up to you, Shane.
Skeeters down 5 as we go to the 8th inning. Bring on their 5th pitcher of the game. It's left-hander Scott Main. 1-1, 3.34 earned run average. This will be his 35th appearance.
Now Maine, the former Blue Crab, spent time with Southern Maryland last year. Went 1-3 with a 3.52 ERA and 50 appearances. The 2 years before that with the Bluefish. So in his 4th season here in Atlantic League, former big leaguer. Went through a lot just to get to the big leagues. He will face 9-1-2 here. Brian Bistain, Edwin Garcia, and Tucker Nathans. First pitch by Maine. This one foul back into the right. No balls and 1 strike to count. Bistain is fly out to right, grounded out to second. Had an RBI single last time up. Came in at 209 with a home run, now 16 RBIs with his ribby this evening. The 0-1 by the Skeeter southpaw. Foul back, no balls and 2 strikes. Skeeters down 6-1. The Blue Crabs have 6 runs on a dozen hits. Skeeters 1 run on just 3. A pair of errors on both sides. And it has not been a traditional game by any stretch of the imagination. The starter in line for the win for the Blue Crabs, and David Russo, had more balls than strikes, and he has a 5-run lead. He also walked 6 guys, 7 in all for Blue Crabs pitching. Had 4 combined errors, wild pitches. This one is swung and a missed strike 3, so Maine gets the first man he faces in Bistain. 1 out.
Don't forget base running breakdowns.
Major base running breakdowns. In a game that has thrown pace of play rules out the window and maybe broke it forever. And we are closing in on 3 hours, and we just started the 8th. That's not exactly a 12-11 game. First pitch here by Maine. This one is low and in to the right-hand hitting leadoff hitter, Edwin Garcia. Garcia is 1 for 2. Part of some of the wackiness. He popped out to second, had an RBI double, scored a run, grounded out to third, and then hit into an unusual double play as he sends a dribbler through the right side. It's going to be a hit for him, so his second hit. For some reason, Patrick Palmero decides to tag on a very shallow hit ball to Joe Benson. So Garcia hit into a 9-2 DP. I'll bring in the left-hand hitting right fielder, Tucker Nathans. Nathans is 2 for 4. He has 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. He's also grounded out twice. Here's a trailing 6-1 here in the top half of the 8th. Lefty-lefty matchup here for Maine. First pitch here by Scott. This one is a strike down the middle, 0-1 the count. Maine's last time out was against these Blue Crabs on the first of the month, and the Scooters 2-1 victory. A third of an inning for Scott, which has been the case in the last 3 of the last 4 outings. Make that 4 of the last 5 as he is turned into a lefty specialist down here down the stretch. One swung and a miss, no balls and 2 strikes to count. And Maine went through a lot, in case you didn't hear this story, Brett. Maine, who was drafted 3 different times, the first time out of high school, decided not to go and took a full scholarship to the University of Miami after having a .10 ERA in his senior season in high school. They went through Tommy John surgery before he really got rolling in Miami, and then on top of that got into a near fatal car wreck as he was rushing to a golf tournament, and he had to avoid 2 tractor trailers who were stopped. This one on the inside corner, strike 3. What a curveball there by Maine. That is out number 2. So 2 outs, 1 on, and that'll bring in Zach Cohn. Well, at 100 miles an hour, his car went over a 6-foot chain link fence, crashed upside down. He kicks open the door, crawls out, and he's sitting there as the ambulance arrives thinking everything's okay because he doesn't know any better. He has a concussion. They have to force him into an ambulance, literally. Didn't want to go. Then they helicopter him to the nearest hospital where the doctor cannot count the amount of cracks in his head and skull. There's so many. He has 3 titanium plates put in his face. And the doctor tells him that he's not going to walk or talk normally again, let alone pitch again.
Wow.
He says to his teammates and coach, "I'll be your number 1 starter." 3 weeks later, he's throwing. Goes back to Miami, gets drafted again, does not go, comes back, gets drafted a 3rd time, goes, and eventually climbs his way all the way up to the big leagues. Somebody's not a movie in that.
That's something else.
The 1-1. Swung and a miss, 1-2, and Maine now has a shot to strike out the side here. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Scooters trailing 6-1 here in the top of the 8th. They set up low and away, the 1-2. This one high and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner down at first, and Edwin Garcia. That's the moral of that story, is don't ever let anyone tell you what you can't do. The 2-2 skied into right center field. Going to be Benson or Jansen. It'll be right fielder Joe Benson who will bring it down for the final out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Middle of the 8th. Scooters need to get moving. They're down 6-1.
Thank you, Shane. Yes, I'm down here with Damian and Russell, and they're ready to take on the Air Team Heating and Cooling Frozen T-shirt contest. All right, boys, you can do anything you can think of. Hit it off the ground, hit it off your partner. Get that shirt open, up over your body, all right? You ready? Set, go. Oh, he's trying to play. All right, let's open our own shirts. Let's see if we can get it open. Damian's making some progress, so is Russell, though. I hear some suggestions from the fans. Yell them nice and loud so they can hear you. All right, looks like Damian has the lead. There's still time, Russell. You got it. You got to get it all the way on. All right, it's going to be close. Looks like Russell's a bit lost in his shirt. Damian's almost there. Close enough. I'm going to call Damian our winner. But guess what? You're both winners because you get to take home that nice freezing cold T-shirt. Congratulations. Back up to you, Shane.
New pitcher for the Blue Crabs as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Sam Runyon, 45th appearance, 3-2 record, a save, a 4.89 earned run average. 46 innings, the league hitting .282 against him.
We will face Travis Scott to start here. It'll be Scott, Pounds, and Rodriguez. 5, 6, and 7. Gives her down 5-6 to 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch misses for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Runyon, last 3 appearances scoreless. Going 3 appearances back, it was against Sugar Land. 1 scoreless frame. A little closer look here on Mr. Runyon. He's 6'4", 230 from Asheville, North Carolina. Last year with AA Harrisburg, the national system. It's been as high as AAA. This one is low and in. 3 balls and no strikes to count. Down by 5 runs. Have to be taking here on 3-0. Runyon drafted in the 2nd round by the Royals in 2007 out of high school. Reynolds High School in Asheville, North Carolina. This one right down the middle for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. In summer 2006, he played alongside crosstown rival Justin Jackson, who a couple years ago was with the Barnstormers. One of 3 Affleck All-Americans from the state. This one grounded foul. Committed to play for the University of Tennessee on a baseball scholarship, but was drafted, as I mentioned, in that 2nd round. Sam's father, Larry, a left-handed pitcher at Union University. Sam also played tight end on Reynolds' football team as a freshman, sophomore. This one misses ball 4. That is the 8th walk of the night. No correction, that's more than that. That's the 10th walk of the night for Blue Crabs pitching. Yikes.
They've gone for the double-double in hits and men walked.
It was only a basketball game. A 1 on now for Brian Pounds. Pounds has singled, grounded into fielder's choice and struck out, so he's 1 for 3. First pitch fouled into the net in front of us. No balls and 1 strike to count. He was the 12th best prospect in the Royals organization in 2008 in spring training. Sam's wife, Steely, is the daughter of longtime Asheville baseball scout Steve Pope. This one a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. big right-hander features a fastball, a two-seamer, 85 to 90. And a four-seamer, 89 to 94. As this one is low and away, 1-2.
It's like he's had a couple of cups of coffee tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. He is jittery. It's kind of a slurvy slider, 11 to 5 curveball, and a changeup. There's a three-quarter delivery as well. That's one swung and skied to center field. Corey Vaughn is there in right center now, and he'll haul it in for out number one. 1 on and 1 out here for Wilfredo Rodriguez. Skeeters trailing 6-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Rodriguez has reached on there by the third baseman Palmero and flat out to right each of his last 2 times up, so he is 0 for 3. Righty-righty matchup here. First pitch is low and away, backhanded. Great play by Wiggins, kind of like a shortstop, backhanding one in the hole, went to one knee and backhanded that one 1-0. 6 runs, 13 hits, and a pair of errors for the Blue Crabs. 1, 3, and 2 for the Skeeters. They've had 3 hits and 10 walks. When do you see that? Two and out now to count here to Rodriguez. Runyon kicks, fires, and this one is low and away. 3 balls and no strikes to count. Runyon's ready. Big leg kick, and this one right down the middle, 3-1. I don't know how to describe what he does with his leg. He kind of leans down, shifts back, leans down, and then comes forward.
Jumping.
Very. This is regular routine now. I've seen him do it before. There goes the runner. This one is hit towards second, and the second baseman Bistain reaches for Scott, but misses him. So Scott will sneak into second. Wilfredo Rodriguez is thrown out, 4-3 officially. So 2 outs. Runner at second. That'll bring in Caleb Ramsey. Ramsey also a Houston native. Had a chance to talk to him before the game and ask him how hard Hurricane Harvey was on him.
Yeah, so being gone, I think was almost the hardest part. A lot of people here were struggling. You would think that, it sounds kind of weird, that I was away from it, but, it was hard not knowing exactly what was going on. We got to see on the news kind of clips here and there and, trying to check in with family. Luckily, all my family was safe and, survived. Didn't have any flooding or anything like that, but, just being gone, playing baseball kind of seemed trivial with all the stuff. My friends were out on boats, rescuing people from their houses. It was, we were all talking, we have 30 able bodies that could be there helping, but there was even no way for us to get back. So I think that was kind of the hardest part of it all.
Now Ramsey skies to left field, and the liner brought down by the left fielder, Zach Cohn, and that will do it. We're through 8 innings of play, and still the Blue Crabs in front, 6-1.
Here we go to the 9th inning. The Skeeters bring on pitcher number 6. It's Mark Haynes. He flips the odometer over to 50 appearances, 2-4, 11 saves, 3.63 earned run average. He's an out shy of an even 45 innings of work this year.
After going through a tough stretch, 5 appearances, he allowed 8 runs and took 3 losses. The last 4 outings looks like he is back on track for scoreless appearances. A couple of third of an innings, a 2/3 of an inning last time out, and an inning where he picked up the victory. Last time out was in the first game of this series, and the Skeeters 2-1 victory went 2/3 of an inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. The Punisher will face 4, 5, and 6 here. Michael Schneider, Devin Rodriguez, and Corey Vaughn. Schneider, 1 for 3. He has walked, singled, scored, grounded out, and flied out. Schneider, 282, 23 home runs, 69 RBIs. Skeeters trailing 6-1 here in the top half of the ninth. This game now exactly 3 hours old. We'll set up away on the first pitch. Haynes kicks, deals this one high and outside. 91 on the gun. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Six, 13 and 2 for the Blue Crabs. 1, 3 and 2 for the Skeeters. The 1-0. This one hit to the right side, and a nice lunge by Caleb Ramsey going towards the first base bag for out number 1. Ramsey went down and picked it off his shoe tops to his left. So 1 out, none on for the left-hand hitting Devin Rodriguez. Rodriguez has grounded up the first twice, struck out and singled. He's also scored a run. He is 1 for 4. Came in at 377 with 6 home runs and 44 RBIs. First pitch here from Mark. This one high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Skins are down at least 5 going into the bottom of the ninth. The 1-0. This one in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes to count. In tomorrow's finale, it'll be former big leaguer for the Skeeters, right-hander Mitch Talbot, who has really come on strong down the stretch at 7-3 with a 3.36 ERA against fellow righty Brian Grenning, who was 8-6 with a 3.69 ERA himself. Swanee is skied to left. Dickie Thon is there, and the left fielder brings it down for the second out. 4 straight retired now by Skeeters pitching as Haynes tries for a 1-2-3 inning. We'll face Corey Vaughn, who is 1 for 4 on the night. He has flied out, singled, struck out, and popped out. Came in at 266 with 12 home runs and 61 RBIs. Here guys say they run into a few. He literally does. He leads the league in hit by pitches with 11. Big swing and a miss here. 90-mile-an-hour fastball, no balls and 1 strike to count. He is 4th in walks at 61. Tied for 4th in games played at 118. And he is tied for 9th in runs scored with 69. This one is a little bit low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Skeeters are trailing 6-1 here in the top of the ninth. Haynes gets a sign he likes. They will set up outside. And the 1-1 here by Haynes. This one a strike on the outside corner. Good placement. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Vaughn doesn't like it, but it may have been a little bit outside. He just hit the target so perfectly that Rodriguez set up. He got the strike.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Skeeters trailing 6-1 here in the ninth. Haynes a long look in here. They'll go away again, and a time called at the last second. That was Vaughn who wanted to time that. It was granted by Greg Orris, the home plate umpire. Now everybody's ready. The 1-2 here by Haynes. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Strikeout Punisher, 94 miles an hour. And a 1-2-3 inning. Last chance for the Skeeters. They are down 5-6-1 when we come back in the bottom of the ninth.
We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Blue Crabs bring on Cody Epley, who saved 29 games. Not a save situation, obviously, with a 5-run lead, but it is the 53rd appearance for Epley. 2-4 record, 2.17 ERA. He's given up 1 homer in nearly 50 innings of work.
Epley, who is 1 save off the league lead. David Carpenter of Bridgeport has been picked up for a while now. Will not have an opportunity to tie it here. Epley features a 4-seam fastball, bores in on left-handers, and a pretty good changeup. Effective against lefties as well. Spent time in the Rangers organization. Received help from Rangers pitching coach Craig Maddox, as well as Submariner right-hander Darren O'Day. Spent some time at the big leagues with the Yankees. Was back in 2013. He was a teammate of Skeeter starter Brett Marshall while there. Well, Epley will face 9-1-2. Dickie Thon, Joe Benson, Josh Prince. Skeeter's down 6-1 here in the ninth. Thon so far today has struck out and walked twice, so officially just 0 for 1. First pitch here by the right-hander. It's one a fastball strike on the outside corner, 90 miles an hour by Epley. 6 runs on 13 hits for the Blue Crabs, 1 run on just 3 for the Skeeters. They have a ridiculous amount of base runners. 10 walks, a couple of errors. This one fouled off down the left side. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Epley, a Pennsylvania native. Was an all-star this year and last year, as well as 2015. The 0-2, swung and missed. Strike 3. 3 pitches, and Thon down on strikes here. 1 out. Skeeters are down 6-1, down to their final 2 outs here. Back to the top of the order with Joe Benson. Benson has flied out twice, walked and struck out, officially 0 for 3. "13 straight scoreless appearances for Epley. The last earned run he allowed was on July 18th against York. First pitch here to Benson. Swung and missed. No balls and 1 strike to count here. It'll take a comeback of monumental proportions for the Skitters. With 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth, nobody on, down by 5. This one a little low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out again. 6-1 Blue Crabs. The 1-1 from the right-hander. This one is low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Epley went to Virginia Commonwealth, which oddly enough is right in Virginia.
He's a Ram.
He's an Aries? Did you know when he was born? 31-year-old right-hander. Made his debut in the big leagues at age 25. He spent 2012 and 13 with the Skeeters. Spent 2014 with the Barnstormers before joining Southern Maryland last year. 29 saves this year. 2 short of his career high, which he set last year at 31. One chop foul behind the plate. Full count now here on Benson. Skeeter trailing 6-1 here in the bottom of the ninth. Epley rolls the ball behind his back with his bare hand. Payout pitch here to Benson. Swung and missed, strike 3 as Epley has struck out the first 2 he has faced here. Now the Skeeters down to their final out here. Trailing 6-1 here in the bottom of the ninth. I'll bring in Josh Prince. Epley in his career now has 124 career saves. Spent some time in the Dominican Winter League and the Venezuelan Winter League, as well as the Mexican Winter League. "6-1, the Blue Crabs in front here in the bottom of the ninth. Spent time in the Rangers, the Yankees, the Twins, and the Pirates organization. Career numbers of 34 and 28 with a 3.33 ERA. The 0-1. This one is a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Prince. Josh has been on base 3 times, reached on an error by the shortstop Garcia, has walked twice, hit into a fielder's choice, and has stolen 3 bases. The 1-1. Low and away, 2 balls and a strike. How do you think stolen base crown ranks among home run crown, batting title, that kind of thing?
Well, I think it should increase as we get into this new era where, quite frankly, just teams don't run very much.
Yeah, now because it's all about hitting the long ball. You don't want to get a guy thrown out with all the power hitting, maybe hitting a 2-run homer instead of a solo shot.
I'm guessing Prince has more stolen bases than the entire Astros team.
The 2-1. I think the Astros would have a decent amount of stolen bases with Altuve.
I take that back. Altuve's got, he's got his. There was a time where, they just weren't running. And Oakland's another one of those teams, the handful that.
That goes back to the Moneyball theory. It's starting to look like a mirage. What do you think about the whole Moneyball theory?
Well, everybody else is doing it now. They just might be doing it better because they have more resources than Oakland.
Your Royals did the complete opposite, and they won the World Series a few years ago. Nothing but bunting and running and long at bats. The 2-2 way inside. Prince had to hop out of the way of that one. 3-2.
Hopped out of the way. I thought it was going to hit him, and then it didn't finish that far from the inside corner, just low.
Frisbee-like slider. No coincidence his manager's name is James Frisbee. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, none on. Bottom of the ninth is the trailing 6-1. Payoff pitch is swung in a slow grounder to third. That one's a foul ball. Now, where did Billy Bean come up with the Moneyball theory?
I think it's a little bit out of necessity, right? You try and find value in players that others don't have so that you can.
Yeah, but he was trying to find that value via statistics. But, where did he come up with, not running, no bunting? I mean, that couldn't have been all his idea.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think you value your 27 outs. So, what you have to gain with a bunt or a stolen base sometimes isn't worth the risk of maybe getting thrown out or giving them an out.
The pitch number 7 to number 7. Again, the payoff pitch swung right back to Empley. This is going to do it. He will jog over towards first, flip it underhand, and that's the game. A 3-up, 3-down inning for Empley, as the Skeeters drop this one by a final score of